Afternoon. It is 2:59. I'm Joseph Bernardo live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. In NFL news, over the past couple of days, Rams star wide receiver Cooper Kupp announced on social media last night that he was informed that the team will be seeking a trade immediately and will be working with him and his family to find the right place to continue competing for championships. Kupp stated that he doesn't agree with the decision and was always believed it was going to begin and end in L.A. Kupp is the second star to be involved in trade talks this week after Browns star pass rusher Myles Garrett requested a trade yesterday. In college basketball news, it was announced earlier today that Tennessee will be one of 17 teams to participate in the Players Era Festival, a week-long event that will include financial education programs and NIL opportunities for players during Thanksgiving week at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Tennessee will join a growing field that currently includes teams like Alabama, Auburn, Creighton, Gonzaga, Houston, Iowa State, and more. More teams are expected to be added. According to the Players Era Festival website, the event is providing $9 million in NIL to players that participate in both engagement and activities and competition in 2024. And the participants will make more than $50 million combined over 3 years. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. And if you're new to the show, I say that every day because every day your feet hit the ground is a beautiful day. So we're glad you're with us on this Tuesday afternoon. Hope you're having a great day. We are headed tonight after the show to New Orleans for the Super Bowl Radio Row festivities. So we'll have shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from down there and lots of entertaining conversations and guests for you guys. 104.5 The Zone broadcasting live from New Orleans Radio Row. You can tune in as we talk with tons of special guests that you won't hear anywhere else. Wednesday through Friday, our Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Rude, who is proud to partner locally with MJ Frick. Dog Davenport is here, yo.
What up? Dun, 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 dun. Happy Tuesday, people. It is Super Bowl week.
Let's
go.
Super Bowl week. So what are the lesser of the two evils? Like, a lot of people can't stand the Eagles. A lot of people are tired of the Chiefs' success. So where do you come down with no dog in the hunt, so to speak, on this matchup?
I just want a good game. That's where I come down.
I think we're going to get that.
I think so,
I really
too.
do.
But let me say this. I feel like there's a lot of apathy for this year's game. Like, I'm going to be curious. It's the Super Bowl, so, like, everybody's going to watch it, right? Just because it's an event.
Everybody's going to watch it, yep.
But I feel like, I mean, am I crazy? Are there people out there that are excited about this matchup? I feel like this is one of the most unsexy matchups to your average fan.
Okay.
I mean, but seriously, like, don't you feel like there? I feel like there's not as much talk. There's not like everyone's like, oh yeah, it's the Eagles and Chiefs. Meh.
So like, what celebrity out there would be this matchup? That is immediately what I start thinking when you go unsexy.
Unsexy?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Look at you with your Starbucks. You're going to be all jacked up here in a second.
Yeah, and then you get on a plane with me for a couple hours.
Yeah, but if you've noticed on our flights, I rarely sit near you. Like, I might sit near you, but I don't sit next to you or across from you. Honestly, you go to sleep a lot on planes.
I do.
Which I can't do, typically.
I always sleep on planes.
But this flight's only like an hour.
Yeah, I probably won't sleep on this plane.
Some Titans news that just came out right after my update.
What you got, Zeph?
Well, hit us, Zeph.
Oh, by the way, Slay's caught in traffic. Like, if you're on 65 or any of the arteries that come off of 65 south of the city, you understand what's going on out there. I don't know. There's a bad wreck or something.
Yes, there was.
On 65?
It was right. It happened right in front of me.
Oh.
Well, I didn't see it happen, but they closed 65 north coming from the south towards Nashville. They closed it right at Armory And where the police officers came, it was 2 cars behind me where they closed the interstate. Like I couldn't get off the exit right there. So I was right there near where the accident was. It was on Wedgwood. It looked like everybody was okay. But it was a multi-car accident and it was spanning all 5 lanes of the interstate. So all these side roads are also a little bit of a mess right now around that area.
What Titans news do you have? Slay will be here momentarily.
From Jim Wyatt, the Titans have hired former Bears and Raiders assistant Travis Smith as the new defensive run coordinator.
Okay. Thank you, Zeph.
You're welcome.
I feel like they're beautifying this staff.
I mean, I asked the question the other day.
Special teams coach, now a defensive
all
coordinator.
All these former GMs that are helping out, like in terms of like scouting and all hands on deck. You got something else now?
So Travis Smith spent the last 3 years as the Bears defensive line coach, where Chicago gave up the fewest rush yards in the NFL last year. The team also promoted Lori Locust from defensive assistant to a defensive assistant. That doesn't make sense, John Glennon. Okay, I'll figure that out. I'll try to translate.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll be here for 3 hours. Congrats again to Ramon, Kayla, and Will. They were named the number 6 ranked mid-major morning show, easy for me to say, in the country by Barrett Sports Media today. Cover 2, number 14 in the nation, new show. So glad to see those guys get recognized. They work hard, and they're doing a beautiful job from 1 until 3. And then congrats to Buck Rising, number 2 in America. And he beat Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio, who was number 3. So there's that.
There's always that little rivalry.
Yep. Congrats to Jackson and Lucas for lifting Buck up to number 2.
Good job.
Just kidding.
Good job, Lucas. And sorry, it looks like you're going to have to wait another year to take over that show.
Congrats to all our teammates. They do afternoon drive, which is our slot tomorrow. So hopefully we're in the top 20. We were number 2 last year. Man, it's crazy outside. I walked outside and it's like, it feels like it's 30 degrees after all these 70-degree days. And so we're headed to New Orleans. It's going to be like 80. And I can't ever tell, Babs and I had a discussion about this. Sometimes, the way I remember it is sometimes convention centers are cold, really cold. Sometimes they're really warm. Because I remember wearing pullovers that I have to come out of because it's so warm in these places. But you just don't know. Your position is they're always cold.
Always.
But part of that is
I don't think I've ever been in one that wasn't cold in there.
Part of that is you are always cold. So there's that.
So I don't know if I planned appropriately either because it's going to be 80 degrees outside. So I brought short sleeves.
I overstuffed a bag.
I have a big suitcase because I knew I had to check my suitcase because I am now in charge of, we have this pull-up that says like 3HL, 1045 The Zone, whatever,
which
John
for
Brent
some,
Slay.
there's always a story involved.
There's always an issue with this damn thing.
As to how we never use it.
So
one time
when we were in L.A.
we all forgot it.
No.
Is that the trip? We all forgot it at the airport?
Yes, but don't group us together.
Oh.
I'm putting that on Slay.
Okay, Slay takes responsibility, but I'm trying.
That.
Yeah, but if Slay's in charge, then we're all teammates, so it's all on us. Like we all could have said, "Hey, did we get the sign?"
So we got to our hotel, and we were like, "Wait, what happened to the sign?" And then Slay's like, "Oh crap." It's rolling around the baggage claim right now.
So didn't he have it delivered to us? And then we only have 1 day left, so we just shipped it back?
Shipped it back.
So we didn't have to carry it?
Forget it. So because of that, management approached me, the responsible one of this group, clearly, to be in charge of this thing. So now I'm in charge of it. So I was like, I know I have to check a bag. Because I'm assuming I'm going to carry it on. I don't even know what it looks like.
I want no part of that.
Yeah, well, I got it. Don't worry.
DHB says on YouTube. By the way, you can watch the show YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
DHB said Buck is about to be even more of a diva now.
I don't know if that's possible. I saw he spent yesterday at the spa.
There's nothing wrong with that. His picture on the Barrett Sports Media, like top 20, they put like a picture and then Buck Rising Show, 104.5 The Zone Nashville, 10 to 1, but, all the information. But the picture of him is he's like leaned back in a 3/4 zip pullover.
It's very
with a turtleneck
diva-ish.
underneath the pullover and holding a cup of coffee. And I'm like, if that's not the biggest Buck Rising picture ever, I don't know what is.
I told Mr. Babs he was not allowed to wear a turtleneck anymore. I cut him off. I got rid of every turtleneck we had in the closet.
I didn't know turtlenecks came back. Are those a thing again?
I think they've always been a thing.
Really? For guys? I know women wear them.
Yeah, I think they are for guys. Yeah.
Like Diane.
Slay has some.
He's shaking his head. No, he doesn't.
But they are a thing.
Diane Keaton wears a turtleneck at all times. Watch her movies. Every movie. She's got a thing about her neck, I think.
Well,
Like she's got a wrinkled neck or something.
yeah, because when you age, I'm telling you, it's hard being a woman. Like
It's hard being a
your
woman.
neck ages.
Your neck ages.
Yeah, and you can tell age on that neck.
I'm telling you, watch any Diane Keaton movie. She's got a turtleneck, or she has those like scarf things that women wear around her neck. Like you never will see her neck.
Huh.
Hardly ever.
Huh.
Slay Dog, you okay?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Made it.
I'm here.
Or should we say Hall of Famer?
Yes, Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer.
Sylvester
Ron.
Slay.
I will take that.
He gets
Better
2
be
because
ready.
he's a Hall of Famer.
Hey,
How about that, Zeph?
Hall ain't got no roof.
Hey.
Ain't the car.
We finally found something to have no roof in 2025.
Yeah, it's outside of basketball. Yep. College football didn't have a roof.
That's right.
College basketball ain't got a roof. NBA's got a bit of a roof. NFL's got a roof.
I've still got your reaction just locked in my brain to yesterday when Moan came in here, and then when everybody started filing in, and you saw Will from the Ville, and then you saw Coach Terry, you saw Coach Fitzgerald, and then you saw John Henderson.
Yeah, I'm with my boy.
Woo, that was a fun day. If you missed it, go back and
was a
watch
good time.
yesterday as Slay Dog was surprised with the announcement from Brad Willis that he will be inducted into the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame.
They got me. They got me, people.
That's right.
The people got me. Babs is able to keep a secret, everyone.
So, yeah.
I
What's
was
even,
very good at it.
Yes, you are.
I mean, she's the one that told me.
See? So if you were the last one to find out, you were what is
That's what I told her. I was like, well, clearly I can't keep it secret.
Clearly I can't be in on.
I do tend to say everything into a microphone that is on
yes,
my
you
brain.
do. You told me that when I first got on.
I know. I warned you.
Like, hey,
Like, hey, if there's ever something you
Say
don't
it.
want it said,
You gotta tell me.
you have to specify.
I was
I
the
learned that early.
I was the
And
last
then I
one.
was like, screw it.
I was the last one told. But then I was,
No, I
at
don't
least
know
to
about
my
that.
credit, I was smart enough to call Chris Lowe and go, hey, man, we got to get some ghosts from Slay's Past on the show.
that was good.
And so yesterday, Chris Ferguson, who was instrumental in getting you there.
Mania.
And really, I mean, building that in complete roster. You said something interesting yesterday about Chris Ferguson, and there are a lot of these really high-profile assistants that are incredible in recruiting. And what makes Chris Ferguson great in recruiting is not some like used car sales pitch. Like he really wants what's best for you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of his approach to it. But you said something interesting yesterday. Chris Ferguson was still rolling around doing that. He would make more money than some head coaches.
Guaranteed. Like when we found out what he was making, we was in like,
Y'all were hot.
I mean, I was just like, I see why. Like, you look at this talent.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, they really could have been giving him more. I think at that, I don't know if you're supposed to say what he was getting. But
All those things are pretty public.
they are, ain't they?
Which
I
blows
think he
my
was,
mind.
I think he was getting like $650 to $700. You know what
Which
I mean?
back then for an
Back
assistant.
then is old.
He was getting a bankroll.
Yeah.
But I remember like every offseason there was storylines about can Tennessee keep Chris Ferguson because everybody wanted him.
He was recruiting, man. I mean, was recruiting his butt off.
We had a segment yesterday where we had Chris Ferguson, then we had Michaela Blakes from Vanderbilt, the freshman that scored 53. Then we had Buzz
Phenomenal
Peterson,
freshman.
all in one segment
Yes. That was great.
without you knowing. So
Oh, how that happened?
I had to try to manage that. Dawn has a phone next to her so she can see what's going on. But then when you asked Michaela, like I was telling her bye, and you go, wait, one more question. I'm like, Buzz Spears is on hold, Babs. You know it.
Like you already know who it is. You're sitting by it.
But we got through that, and man, it was fun. Vincent Yarborough called. Isaiah Victor called.
That was a good one. It's nothing like telling stories with the people that were there because you don't really remember all the pieces.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds crazy when one person tells, and then when people add in, it's like, oh, dang, that do make sense.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, yep. Like the hat thing, I forgot about that. But I forgot when I got it. I actually found that hat.
You did? The Tom Landry Derby hat after he died, you started wearing that, and that was kind of a good look.
You still have it?
Nah, I don't know what they did with it after that season. I remember Coach Green looking like, what the hell is... what the hell?
Is Chunky Junkie still on the run? I feel
Chunky
like
Junkie may have the hat. They out here.
I feel like we always have to update on the show if the person who stole your car has been caught.
I was so happy to ride down Franklin Road, getting off the interstate with that exit, just to see if I maybe would see her. I go past that gas station every now and then just to see
if she's hanging out there waiting to do it to somebody else.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull up on her. I'm gonna have some.
Lord.
Well, you know that's not the first and last time she's gonna do that.
Unless she's dead.
Wow. Something got to be wrong with her, though.
Right.
Well, yeah, she's a junkie.
No crap, Slay. She stole. That was a great point, Slay. I mean, she stole your car while you're 5 feet from it. I mean, dropped it in reverse at 50 miles an hour, past gas pumps, onto Franklin Road. Slammed it into drive.
120.
Yeah, floored it.
Around Old Hickory Boulevard into the interstate.
Don't forget, jumped the median.
Yep.
Got air.
Yep. I'd say there's something wrong with
Something wrong with her, Slay. All right, when we come back, we're going to go down to New Orleans. Jim Wyatt's going to check in. He's been talking with a lot of people around the league that know some of these new hires with the Titans, so we'll get his perspective on what he's learning down there. Jim Wyatt next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? KellumStemCellInstitute.com. Head over there, get that information about your body. You probably like aches and pains. Yeah, I'll just go take a leave or Advil or something to get inflammation out of your body, but you're going to be doing it over and over and over and over and over again. That stuff, man, eats at you internally, and you already have the cure inside of you. All you got to do is harvest it. That's right, your body, your cells, your solution. Harvest your body's stem cells and store them for future and continued use. Now, these cells are your body's healing cells, harvested and redeployed based on your needs. Stem cells attack inflammation in the body, and we know that all autoimmune disorders are derived from inflammation, whether it's congestive heart failure, lung issues, arthritis, autism. Either one, it doesn't matter. 615-850-4415. That's the number you need to hit up. 615-850-4415. Talk to Dr. Kellum directly. Sit down with him. Only can do that at KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay.
Hey.
Hall of Famer Ron Slay.
Hello.
Listen, if you've got to deal with Auburn crap from a bet, we need to acknowledge that you're a Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. Did you have fun last night? Did you go to dinner or something?
Yeah, we went to dinner, man. Had a nice little dinner, man, over there. Shout out from Stony River, took care of me.
Oh, that's such a
Stony River.
Yeah, it was real good, man. And they had the Blanton's Gold in there.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. It's hard to find Blanton's.
Right. They were out of Blanton's. And had Blanton's Gold. So I was like, you know what? Run that up. I'll take that, if you don't mind.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, good time. Had a little petite steak. You know what? I always got a problem when I go to restaurants like that, getting too full.
Me too.
But that petite steak, though, that's perfect with that loaded baked potato.
Yeah.
And broccoli.
See, we're getting old. We can't handle like the 10-ounce steak anymore.
Not in drinking. That's my thing. Like, I don't like when the drinks sit on you and you got little weird feelings and stuff.
Yeah. Well, they've got good food down in New Orleans. Jim Wyatt is right there. Jimmy, what's up? How are you?
Tell us where to go.
How you guys doing? Big Ron Slay, congrats on the Hall of Fame. I knew you back when.
Yes, you did. Thanks for the message, too, Jimmy. I appreciate it, bro.
Jimmy, did you
Got it.
cover him
Got it.
back in the day?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, Jimmy's got stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jim covered
Antonio Beard and John Henderson and all the glory days of Pearl Conan, and I followed Ron up to Mouth of Wilson, Virginia, and spent some time with him back in the day. So I go way back with Ron.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
awesome.
You must have been out because Jim just told that story about going up to Oak Hill. You must have been out that day. But, yeah, so for those that don't know, Jim Wyatt, before he covered the Titans forever, covered high school sports. And that's when Slay and Big Joe were rolling around San Antonio and Buck and
high
all
school
those guys.
sports was really, really, really bubbling.
Yeah, it was so good.
I was on the high school beat, but I was on the Pearl Cone beat a good part of the time because
That's where all the stars
action
were.
was. Yeah, great teams and a lot of excitement. And Ron always took care of me back then.
So Chris Ferguson called in yesterday to surprise Slay, and former Tennessee assistant and an incredible recruiter, incredible assistant. But he was kind of telling the story when Coach Fitzgerald was talking to Chris Ferguson about, man, I really think we need to get Slay up there to Oak Hill. And then Ferguson talked to Steve Smith, who was the coach at Oak Hill, and Steve was like, you think Slay's going to like it up here? Or maybe he was asking Coach Fitzgerald, and they're like, I mean, there's not even a stoplight. What was your experience when you got to Oak Hill, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, I remember going a long ways to get there, maybe the backwoods, and then finally arrived, kind of like when my parents dropped me off at UT Martin when I first started my college days. I'd been sight unseen. I got dropped off at Martin going, took me a long way to get there, and then I got there. It's like, oh, man, this is it. And so Mouth of Wilson was a nice campus, and you could tell it was all about basketball.
Jim Wyatt with us. So how's New Orleans? Everything ramping up down there? Have you found some good spots to eat down there?
Yeah, I hadn't had a whole bunch of time to eat yet because I got down here, and then yesterday it's kind of a flurry, busy during the day, and then not Radio Row, but opening night was all of last night, and then back here in Radio Row today. So not a lot of exploring. When I first got here on Sunday evening before I went to bed, I just kind of went for a walk down Bourbon Street, saw the memorial, and certainly have noticed the increased security in this town. I mean, you've got a lot of police officers here. You've got members of the military. You've got tanks, in alleys. You've got every entryway into Bourbon Street barricaded and blocked off, and you've got German Shepherds on leashes about every block that you go. So security is great. This is a great city. I love New Orleans. Love hearing them play music at all hours of the day, and I think New Orleans probably pulls off the Super Bowl as well as anybody.
Titans adding to the front office over the last couple of weeks, obviously, and I would surmise that Titans fans, when they do their research, feel really good about what's going on with the front office. What have you learned from talking to people down at the Super Bowl that know these guys that have been hired onto the Titans front office staff?
Well, I mean, they certainly raved, and that's one thing. I got fortunate that the Chiefs, one of the teams in the Super Bowl again, because obviously Clark Hunt and Andy Reid and Brett Veach could all talk about Mike Berganzi, and I talked to all three of those guys last night, and all of them, just talk about what a great talent evaluator is and just how involved he was in the process, and really give him credit for helping this team get to where it is. It's a team effort down there, obviously. I think it'll be somewhat of a team effort in Tennessee, although it's going to be marked by Gonzi's roster. But hear really, really good things about him. And then Dave Ziegler, Reggie McKenzie, those guys come with a lot of experience, and people across the league that have worked with him, worked with both those guys, complimentary, and feel like one of the strengths of the Titans moving forward should be their, experience and expertise in doing things different ways. And now you're going to have a lot of voices in the room. I think it was Thomas Dimitroff that I talked to yesterday, one of the guys that interviewed for the job that ended up going to Berganzi. He just talked about it'll be a process in making decisions, and he thought it was great that they had so many voices now that can bring that to the table.
I think we're scheduled to chat with Mr. Dimitroff as well this week. So
yeah, we talked to him a couple years ago. That's a really interesting guy, really, really bright, very communicative. And I'm glad you were able to get his take on kind of that hiring process and Brinker and all that.
Yeah, and I saw him in the hallway, when I got in yesterday, and it was, how it works where these guys have all got handlers and people that are directing them from one place to the next. And I saw him and told him who it was and told him I knew he was involved in the hiring process. It was one of the interviews, and didn't know if he'd be willing to do it because obviously he didn't get the job. And but could he speak to the process and speak to where the Titans landed? He said, "Oh, yeah, I'd be glad to do it." So came over to where I was sitting and really raved about Chad Brinker and raved about Mike Berganzi and of course Ziegler and McKenzie. And for somebody that didn't get the job, I thought he was a really good sport about that and provided some really good insight.
Jim Wyatt with us. He is already in New Orleans. We'll be heading that way here in a couple hours as well. But Titans also just releasing today that they add Travis Smith to the coaching staff as a defensive run game coordinator. 3 seasons as a D-line coach for the Bears, and Bears led the NFL in 23 in fewest rushing yards allowed. Jimmy, just as a whole, some of the additions that we've seen on the coaching staff, obviously special teams coach, which made some waves around here. And then now this addition, it seems like experience and all of that is being added to this staff. What do you know about Smith and that addition?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I think they've got more experience there. He adds to it. John Fossil obviously kind of changes the whole look of special teams and brings a guy who has done it before to the roster. And then I think some of the other moves that they made will beef up the staff. I mean, Tony Oden's a really experienced guy who's going to be working with the secondary now, and John Fossil's bringing Renee Stewart with him, who people in Nashville know. It's still kind of a evolving process as this roster gets finalized. But one thing I've noticed is just experience is going to be key, and kind of like the front office, you have a lot of voices.
Anybody down there tell you who the number 1 overall pick is going to be?
Get a lot of opinions, but the reality is, I don't even think Mike Berganzi knows now. I mean, it's such a long process. They've obviously spent some time with Shedeur Sanders, spent some time with Cam Ward. We'll investigate some of these free agents. Watch the quarterback of the Senior Bowl, and and a lot's going to hinge on what kind of offers they might get to listen to as well. So, be fun to talk about for 2.5 months, I guess.
I like how you said, I guess.
You'll never get that question again.
Mailbag will be full.
Yeah, well, the combine, though, is end of February, and I feel like that kind of opens the conversations up a little bit, too, once you see that.
Yeah, but the reality is that I think we're going to have to wait until free agency to really get a clue what they're doing, because if they go out and get somebody, then the draft conversation changes. So February will get cranked up, and I think mid-March is when we'll really get clues about where they stand here.
Jimmy, the conversation that DHop had, talking about leaving the Titans and why he was able to bounce away, and what
why
led
he took
to that.
Himself out of the game.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Having a different perspective or a different view of it.
I was surprised he admitted it, to be honest with you, because I knew that happened. I knew it before we left Buffalo that night, and I didn't think we'd ever hear him say that, because what he's admitting to is pretty much quitting. And I've got a lot of respect for DeAndre Hopkins. He's been a great pro. Thought he was a great pro when he was in Tennessee. I'm sure a lot of guys were frustrated, and there have been some guys that have been frustrated over the course of the last couple of years, and this team lost 7 in a row in 2022 and finished 6-11 last year, in 2023, and 3-14 last year. But never thought I'd hear a guy admit that he just got tired of the way things are going and wasn't getting the football, and acknowledge that he wanted out. And good for him that he got to a Chiefs team that's on the way to Super Bowl. I'm happy for him if he gets a ring. Let's not pretend they're here because of him.
Right.
But he is here on this team, and good for him. But I was surprised. I knew it and was surprised he admitted it.
I think a lot of people that were close to that situation, or that had a view of that, kind of felt the same, and everybody kind of held it in. But I'm with you on that. What's one of the craziest things, Jim, that you've heard? Because it's like when guys get down there, questions are asked. It's an open platform, and people kind of just at the end of the season, this is the last hurrah. Everybody kind of just lets it out, like all the disgruntled things that went on through the season. What's something wild that you heard over your years of covering this, Jimmy?
That's a great question. I wish I had a great one. Most of the time, these guys, when they pack up those lockers and clean out, they're usually either coming off of a really disappointing loss, or like some AFC championship teams, and or they're ready to get the heck out of there after what's been a long season. And there was only one year, I guess, where these guys, like after the Super Bowl, that was a completely different feel. But I don't remember saying anything crazy. Certainly seen some stuff in season where frustration builds, but I think by the time the season ends and on the way out the door, most guys are kind of resigned to the fact of where things are, and then some of them have questions about their future.
Jim Wyatt down in New Orleans. We'll see you tomorrow. We're at table 10, so we'll be there bright and early tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be on the lookout for you guys. Have a safe trip down here.
All right, thanks, love it, Jimmy. Thank you, man.
Jimmy.
615-737-1045.
Should have asked where he reserved for us all to go to dinner.
That's a great
tomorrow
question.
night.
Or tonight.
Mm-hmm.
How about tanks in the alleys off Bourbon Street? This is where we are. He said there are tanks.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting
I thought
in
you were talking
alleys.
about a restaurant named Tanks.
I did too. I was like,
that'd be a great name for a restaurant.
It would be. Like, well, what you serving?
Or tanked.
tanked.
Tanked
Yeah, that would be a bar.
That's definitely a bar.
I mean,
Tanks, like drunk tanks?
Yeah, that's another one. You don't want to be in that one, though.
I mean, they do have those too.
Yeah, but you don't want to be in it.
Oh, tanks, army
Like
tanks.
Military.
Talking about security. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they're not messing around.
Not at all.
Not after what happened
And listen,
for the college football playoffs.
I hate what happened. Wish it never happened. I feel comfortable going down there, though.
Because of security?
What? Yeah. That's, man, what? Give me, yeah, hell yeah. Let me roam on around. Yeah.
So you'll be okay, like walking down the street. Oh, there's a tank sitting there.
Yes. Hell yeah. Like, dude, that's safe.
Yeah.
If you're a bad boy if you chunky junkie of somebody in front of a tank. Like, you do that in front of a tank.
You're also dead.
Do you think Chunky Junkie would try to steal the tank?
Immediately.
Fire!
I think we should try and see if Slay could fit inside the tank.
No, I've tried that.
We tried it Army Navy.
Yeah, we did the Army Navy.
He couldn't get in.
Nah, it's no go.
Oh, but these are Super Bowl tanks.
Go.
These are
Could be
Super Bowl
different.
tanks. What?
There,
They could be
yeah,
different. You
maybe
know?
Slay,
they're
do you
different.
think Chunky Junkie would be so messed up she might try to take a tank?
I would love to see her try. She ain't flipping that. That's a good thing,
That would
right?
be amazing.
Yeah, what's going to happen when she get out?
That'd be some video. You remember when we were in Minnesota for the Super Bowl and Radio
that was
Row
crazy.
was in the Mall
What
of
year was
America?
that?
That was pre-COVID.
So 17, 16,
Yeah.
something like that.
And they had, I mean, there were armed guards all through that mall with
It was 2018.
18. Yep.
What had happened then that we were on such high alert that there were military personnel with assault rifles walking around a mall?
Can't remember, but it was.
The other part about that was, and
we were sitting
I
ducks
felt
there.
completely uncomfortable, but I'm the guy that, like, I don't like to have my back to the door. I immediately look for escape routes and like, I'm that guy. So we show up to Radio Row in Mall of America in Minneapolis, and we're right in the middle of the food court. So they just have it like sectioned off with like a really low fence going around Radio Row. Like, I told Babs, like, I think it was day 2. I didn't even share it with you day 1, but I was like,
No.
dude.
And you shouldn't have shared it with me day 2.
I said, this would be a turkey shoot, man. But that's where we are, where you got to think about things like that.
Yeah, you hold on to it for us.
Scary.
No, I'm with you. I
let me
think
Babs freelance. You just
I think
be
it's,
aware.
I think they're going to have New Orleans completely safe.
Nah, yeah, no question. I just say that because I always
New Orleans
heard
kind
about
of a wild town
that's
anyway.
what
But
that's the only reason. That's the only reason I'm saying that.
but in terms of like
It's
terror
wild.
type
I'm
stuff,
wild. 2 wilds make a wild.
I mean, they literally do have booking stations in the French Quarter for wild crap that goes on.
Yeah.
But not like that. 615-737-1045 if you want in. When we come back, if you missed what DeAndre Hopkins said about that Buffalo game, we've got it for you next. We'll play it. 3HL. I want to tell you about my friends at Brentwood Jewelry. Valentine's Day coming up, and you may have some gifting responsibilities that you need to take care of. My friends at Brentwood Jewelry will be able to help you out. Just go by and see them, 7012 Church Street in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road, and they'll be able to help you out. The Amamali family, that's who you will meet when you go in there. And, man, I love going in, talking with those guys. I also love watching them interact with their customers. For more than 50 years, Brentwood Jewelry has been proudly serving the Brentwood community with exceptional style and exceptional deals every day. As a family-owned and operated business spanning 3 generations, they are deeply rooted in this community. From Salem's service in the Special Forces to his son serving as local firefighters, the Amamali family is dedicated to giving back in a time that's imperative to support local. Shop Brentwood Jewelry. Brentwood Jewelry, here to help you pop the question. Let them help you take the stress out of selecting the perfect engagement ring. They can help you find a beautiful ring in your ideal budget. Browse their incredible selection of one-of-a-kind rings, or talk with their custom design specialists to create a stunning ring as remarkable as your loved one. 7012 Church Street in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for more than 50 years. Visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer Ron Slay.
Hey.
Hey.
Gladly accepted.
Nobody does that better than Ice Cube.
As the originator.
3HL guest Ice Cube.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hell of a get, Slay Dog.
3HL homie Ice Cube.
I would say like 3HL buddy or something.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, yeah.
He was super cool.
We're tight.
What's going on, man?
What are you doing over there?
I don't know, man.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You got like spray deodorant, lotion, fruit punch.
This is a little bump
chicken
no more
tender.
like stuff. It's pretty good. Toothbrush. A lot.
Toothbrush.
A lot going on, y'all.
615-737-1045. A to Z Sports proposed a mock trade where the Titans receive Myles Garrett. I'll hit y'all with that at 4 o'clock. Okay?
Oh, we'll take that.
Well, would you?
Well,
Let me read the parameters of the trade. I'll do it at 4 o'clock.
I won't take it.
Well, you might.
Well, I'll wait. 4 o'clock. How about
Why
that?
don't you
It's
just
amazing.
wait?
I convinced you both ways without saying anything.
Yeah, you do this a lot. That's probably part of my gambling problem. Early on, especially in football season. College football season.
Now that football's over, like I hardly ever hit that out.
You don't know where to go.
No, because the SEC's on crack.
College
in
basketball. You cannot, man, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I can't do that.
If you're done with it and you're an analyst, I'm done.
It's too much going on, man. Like, you can't predict any of that.
Right, Tennessee,
Except
Missouri.
Auburn. That's the only person you can predict.
Tennessee, Missouri coming up tomorrow night. Yeah, Auburn's going to win.
Yeah.
She's got that little sinister laugh.
That's all it was.
You want to talk
It's
about
so
Auburn
nice.
football too?
Listen, it was a long football season, so y'all just let Bruce bring us our flowers.
I
And
know, man. I was like, here's the East-West Shrine game. Peyton Thorne comes in the game. Well, he fumbles a snap and then throws it underhand to a receiver.
I'm like, oh, Peyton Thorne's coming on. Click. Turn it off.
You can listen to the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
So Slay and Jim Wyatt brought up DeAndre Hopkins taking himself out of the Buffalo Bills game. Here is what he said in New Orleans when asked about it at Radio Row.
I meant a lot for the Titans to trade me to the Chiefs. I gotta thank Miss Amy and Rand and his crew for allowing this to happen, because without them, I wouldn't be in this situation. So I gotta give Nashville and Miss Amy, a lot of thanks.
I was gonna say, how much voice did you have in that trade?
I went to, we lost to the Bills, and there was a lot of stuff in the media saying that I got benched. And I'm not the type to go on social media and then speak my truth, or to speak what happens, because I feel like everything kind of always passed. But I didn't get benched. That's the first time in my career where I was like, man, I don't belong out here on this field right now. We weren't winning. No plays were being called for me. Not that I'm a player that ever needs the ball, but if I'm on the field, I want to be included in something. And so I took myself out of the game, and I saw a lot of things in the media saying I got benched. I let it go. But the next day I went to Rand office, and I was like, man, I'm almost losing love for this game, being in this situation. And I can talk to Rand like that because Rand, he understands me, and he was like, man, I see it in your eyes. I see it that this isn't a place where you might want to be. And we had that tough conversation, and the next day I got traded to the Chiefs.
Wow.
There's a lot in that.
There's a lot in that. Also, the woman on the speakers behind.
She was doing a lot. Well, you know what sticks out to me first?
Yeah,
though?
how do you unpack that?
I go directly to, and I know this is away from what he's got going on, but what we have remaining here in the Titans. Okay, you're a really, really good receiver. You're a Hall of Famer. At some point when you hang it up, who were the plays being called for? And if you wasn't getting plays called for you, and that built up to that point, the Buffalo game, to take yourself out of the game, remove yourself, that's interesting. What was Tyler Boyd's role on this team? We understood Calvin Ridley. They kind of made that public. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to try to get him the ball more. And that came with DHop leaving.
They did say that. Yep.
So was it too much, too bad? Who
the hell were the plays called for?
That's what I need to know. Was it the tight end? Because the receiver wasn't getting the ball. Calvin Ridley wasn't getting it. Was it? NWI got some, but it
were
wasn't
they
like,
not really targeting anyone and just running their offense at first?
So who is that on? Was the quarterback given options and he wasn't able to cipher through and say, I see what they're in. Okay, this is where I need to go.
I don't know.
Did our quarterback need to come out and say, this is the other thing, did our quarterback need the play caller to say, okay, we're going to go to the X right here. And maybe that's why you saw forced balls or deep balls when you shouldn't have been deep balls, or you may be missing the deep route. I don't know, man. There's just a big disconnect right there.
There's that part of it, so that's one element. Yep. I just wrote that down. Number two, he took himself out of the game. That's a tough one.
That's a build-up, Yor.
Right. That just doesn't happen in a moment.
No.
Right. Mm-mm. Okay.
That's what scares me about Big Jeff.
Like you're waiting. Slay.
Listen.
But you're saying you feel his frustration coming out just a little bit, Big Jeff.
2 back-to-back seasons.
2 back-to-back seasons. Yep.
And he's younger than DHop. DHop needs it right now. I understand that.
So DHop was frustrated, and it boiled over to that moment where he felt like, not only am I not getting the ball, they aren't even calling plays for me.
Yeah, it ain't even an option for me to get it. Not like they doubling me or anything. I'm just out here running routes.
So I can just stand over here and be as effective in his head. I'm just trying to figure this out.
No, and it makes me think back to early in the season. Remember when I was pointing out in week 2 and 3 when receivers wasn't blocking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then you go from that to him having a conversation with Rand about it's not a fit here, wants to be traded.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing. Players say stuff like that all the time. Like Myles Garrett wants to be traded, right? And that's a very public thing. So for it to be a public thing, it's gone on in-house for a minute. Right. For him to feel the need to put it out there, like, hey, man,
let me go.
I'm going to force your hand.
Yep.
So it didn't get there with D-Hop.
Right.
Because Rand traded him the next day. So then there's the question, if you're a general manager, do you
yeah,
I was trying not to use those words. But I mean, that is what it is.
Well, also at
to
the
succumb
end
to those demands. Yeah.
Yeah. And also at the end of the day, you don't want a cancer, so to speak, in your locker room either.
That's the key part.
And that's
when you're already losing.
Right.
It's one of them save the ship, I guess.
I mean, we saw it in the NBA.
You weren't going to, like D-Hop was done after this year, right? You might as well try and get something from him.
Okay.
Exactly. Where the year before, it looks like Rand wanted to trade Derrick Henry and was told no.
Yeah.
And then they end up getting nothing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, malpractice.
And it's funny because, I feel like you see it more in the NBA, but we saw it with the Heat, right? With Jimmy Butler. At first, it was like he was telling the team, I want out of here. And the team was like, no.
Yep.
You're under contract.
Yep.
You're going to play. Yep. And he's like hell I am.
Right.
So he ends up getting suspended 3 different times. The last time, he left practice.
Yeah.
And so they were like, okay, this is it.
Yep.
And so now, we didn't talk about this yesterday because of the celebration for you, but we will get into it at some point today, the whole Luka trade and everything. Do you think Dallas is done with that? Because there are rumors out there that they're trying to ship AD to Miami with a package of players to get Jimmy Butler.
I can see. I don't think either team, when speaking of that, I don't think either team is done. It's too much. None of it really makes any sense.
How about the element to the story that that Dallas wanted Dalton Connect as a part of the deal, and the Lakers said no.
Yeah, and
they still made it happen.
That was interesting. Mm-hmm. But when you go to that point, that's a players' league. NFL,
that's definitely true.
NFL that's you don't really have the fans on your side in an NFL. So when you get out and that's why it looks crazy when a guy comes out like Myles Garrett saying, I want to trade. I demand a trade. Everybody looking like, what? Demand? Who's gonna get you the trade? What group of owners are going to sign off on that? What are you talking about?
615-737-1045. Get your take on all that. How did you take that DeAndre Hopkins story? And we can dive more into it. Also, the proposed trade from A to Z Sports. What would the Titans have to give up in their mind? What would they get? in a proposed Myles Garrett trade. That's next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon. It is 4:01. I'm just Bonanno live for the 104.5 The Zone studio. In Titans news today, the Titans have hired former Bears and Raiders assistant Travis Smith as the new defensive run game coordinator, as Brian Callahan continues to add to his staff. In NFL news, Rams star wide receiver announced on social media last night that he was informed by the team as they will be seeking for a trade immediately and will be working with him and his family to find the right place to continue competing for championships. Cubs stated that he does not agree with the decision, and he always believed it was going to begin and end in L.A. In college basketball news, it was announced earlier today that Tennessee will be one of 17 teams to participate in the Players Era Festival, a week-long event that will include financial education programs and NIL opportunities for players during Thanksgiving week at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Tennessee will join a growing field that currently includes Alabama, Auburn, Houston, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, and so many more teams as more continue to join in. For all your foundation repair waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home of the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hop 104.5 The Zone. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Right, Babsy?
Meh.
Man.
It's a little,
What up, Babsy?
it's a little gray and dreary for my taste.
You can watch us on live YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
The Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer Ron Slay is here, y'all.
I'm in the building.
Executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
Coming up at 5:20, former Tennessee Lady Vol star Isabel Harrison from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, boy, I'm crazy.
What are you crazy about?
I thought that was now.
No, 5:20. You want it to be now? We can call her now.
I mean, we can. I don't know why I thought it was now.
I mean, this is a hell of a thing coming to. It's probably not showing up on their signage, but this is a hell of a thing coming to Municipal Auditorium.
Yeah.
They've
No,
got
this is gonna be dope.
final. I've got the final 40-player roster, which features Olympians, WNBA All-Stars, and WNBA champions. Tickets on sale now. Got all kinds of former Lady Vols involved.
A lot of local players as well.
Alicia Clark,
AC.
Yeah.
Jordan Horston, Isabel Harrison from the Lady Vols, Megan Simmons.
Meg. I got to get over there. I'm going to reunite with Megan. Megan was cold.
I'm working the
run and
games
run and
on February 8th. Oh, wait. No, you're doing SEC Network.
That's a Saturday?
Uh-huh.
They doing Saturday and Sunday or only Saturday?
I mean, it starts February 5th.
February 5th
So
through
they'll have-
March 2nd.
Oh, okay.
Yep, they'll have midweek games.
Yeah, February 5th through March 2nd, there will be 24,
Oh, February
games.
5th, we'll be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
but through March 2nd.
Oh, Babsy, you come right back off the road, go to a game.
I know.
That'd be fun.
Not ideal.
The website for more information and ticket information would be a cool thing to take the kids to. AUProbasketball.com. It's Athletes Unlimited. AUProbasketball.com. We'll have more information at 5:20 when we talk with Izzy.
Young ladies, you have an opportunity. Parents, first of all, you have an opportunity to get these young ladies out to touch and see WNBA professionals. Not just WNBA, but pros that go overseas, get money. Mm-hmm. This is a professional league. This is no need to have any excuses. Man, there's never nothing here or anything. Babs already said it's consecutive days as well. So weekdays, night, weekends.
It's double headers. So if you go, like, for instance, I'm working February 8th. There's 2 games on February 8th. So
there you go.
Buy a ticket for both. You get in for both games.
There you go right there, man. Get out there, y'all.
See the ladies play.
Yeah. Resources are there. Get busy with it.
I think they're all signing autographs and all that afterwards,
really?
too. Yeah.
See, that's dope.
I would think they would make
I'm
this
saying dope.
very...
I've been saying dope too damn much. I need another word.
I like dope.
Pull that.
Well done.
Dope. That's a Homer Simpson phrase.
I mean, that is a word that a lot of people say all the time.
Okay, cool. Well, I can keep saying it then. I just felt like I've been on the run with dope. Saying dope. The word dope.
Pull that one too.
That's right.
This is amazing.
This is a show.
This is a hell of a conversation. Is this on air? Sometimes we have conversations like this often.
This is a show.
I mean,
it's 3-on-3, Babs, right?
No.
5-on-5.
5-on-5.
Oh.
5v5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
that.
they change the roster every week, and their points are kept. Dawn, the dope lady. Their points are kept individually. So, like, you get 60 points for a win.
Yeah.
But then, like, if Alicia Clark turns the ball over 3 times in the game, she's deducted points. If you hit free throws, you get more points. If you're the leading scorer, you get a certain number of points. If you're the MVP that's voted on by the fans, you get more points. So at the end of the day, there will be one champion.
Winner. Wow.
I mean,
So you playing on the team, but
you
you're
would
tallying
freaking
individual.
love
yeah,
this
I
league.
like that. Yeah.
so it's like individual, but you're on a team, and your team has to do well because you get a considerable amount of points for a win.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's kind of cool.
I like that a lot.
It's definitely different and innovative, and it I feel like it takes the personal competitiveness into account too.
Love it.
So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was almost like you.
it did sound like Cube. Like the white lady Cube.
He was my guy. Yay.
All right, here's the proposed trade. You want this? A to Z Sports put this out on Instagram, so you can follow them on Instagram at A to Z Sports. But the mock trade, Titans receive Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns, okay? They swap the number 1 and the number 2 overall picks, okay? So the Titans receive the number 2 overall pick in 2025. They get a 6th rounder in 2025 and a 4th rounder in 2026. Would you like me to go back through what the Titans receive?
Yeah.
So in this proposed deal by A to Z Sports, the Titans receive Myles Garrett, who, by the way, it has at least 14 sacks in his last 4 consecutive seasons.
That is a problem.
At least 14. I'm not talking about 10.
He's a problem, too.
Titans receive Myles Garrett, the number 2 overall pick. So they move from 1 to 2. Cleveland would go quarterback, right?
Yep.
So you still get Abdul Carter if that's your guy. You still get Travis Hunter if that's your guy. You still get Shador if that's your guy. Because I think Cleveland would go Cam Ward. All right. Myles Garrett,
Absolutely.
the number 2 overall 2025. A 6th rounder this year also. And then next year, a 4th rounder.
You got to get it to me one more time, Euro.
Oh, you're going to write it down now.
Yeah, 'cause I got to see it.
This is getting serious.
Yeah, no, I can hear you. But I need to visualize this.
That was from Clue, Babsy. I know you got it.
Oh, yeah.
Titans get.
This is getting serious. He said that after like 3 murders in the building. Titans get Myles Garrett. MG.
Yep.
What is wrong with us? Gosh. Been together too long.
Carry on.
We're on the same cycle. Number 2 overall pick in 2025. So they flip from 1 to 2. All right.
Okay.
They also get a 6th rounder this year and a 4th rounder next year. Now, what they give up?
And a 4th rounder next year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ready?
3 picks in MG. Okay, yep. What did they give up?
They give up the number 1 overall pick, which we already established.
Yep.
A 2nd rounder this year. Remember, they don't have a 3rd.
Yeah, they got like 2 second rounds, right? If I'm mistaken.
No, it's 3 4th rounders.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay, there it is.
It's
okay.
So in this scenario,
It's
they
ugly.
would go from 1st to the 4th round.
Okay.
My guess is they do something with those 4th rounders, but we'll see. So the Browns receive 2025 number 1 overall pick, 2025 2nd rounder, 2025 4th rounder. So one of the 3 4th rounders.
Mm-hmm.
And the Titans 2026 1st round next year.
No. 1st round 2026 too. Let me look at this.
I'm already going to say no. Can I just say no?
I'm saying no.
How is Myles Garrett?
You're so.
There's so many holes.
I mean, I think he's still in his prime.
Yeah, I don't doubt it either.
What is he? How old's Myles Garrett?
29.
Is that
29. He'll be 30 at
29.
December 29th.
I thought he was 27. So yeah, whatever.
But physically,
he's got some years.
Yeah, physical freak.
I mean,
There's been zero.
There wasn't drop off this year.
Drop off
at all. On a bad freaking team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're already handicapped.
Think about this too.
Draft pick wise.
Right.
They're behind in like every game they played last year. He still had 14 sacks.
Yeah.
Where the opposing team with a lead is trying to run the ball.
Right. That's a good point.
Thanks, Babs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, sometimes you come through.
We're all three out on this deal.
Yeah, I'm cool on this.
I'm out on it. I'm out because of the draft capital.
Like what you get, the draft capital that you're giving up, and the draft capital you're receiving.
What also?
You ain't getting nothing in this year's draft.
I think you also have to put into play what Chad Brinker has said publicly, in that we're going to build through the draft. So
That's
if you're
exactly
immediately
what I was
giving
gonna
up
say.
a bunch of draft picks,
The Titans have already told you they're not opening up the checkbook in free agency anymore.
like they've prepped the market for that.
Yes.
Even though I do have, when we come back.
Oh.
Your
this is
phone
what
calls.
they call a tease.
Teaser.
Your phone calls. What do you think about that Myles Garrett proposed trade? Would you do it? Also, the DeAndre Hopkins story where he took himself out of the game against Buffalo. Talked about that from New Orleans. And I have the entire AFC salary cap totals. Where are the Titans with regard? I've got all 16. I'll hit you with. Some of these teams are in the minus category.
That's a good place for the Titans not to be.
They're not.
Great.
We'll be right back.
Want to look and feel better about yourself? 2025 can be the year that your hair can be fuller and thicker. It's Big Slake, and I'm telling you right now, man, you need to head over to WeGrowHair.com. PAI Medical. They help you get your confidence back. Yeah, we grow your hair back. It was the biggest confidence booster that you could have. If you're looking in the mirror and you're like, man, I'd love to have a little free flowing up there, but I ain't got it. I got a sunroof that's tilted open. You can stop that. Yeah, call them right now, 615-376-6010. We grow hair right here in Nashville for almost 30 years with proven solutions that work. No one else in Tennessee has the ARTAS robotic FUE procedure, and We Grow Hair's high-density hair transplant that give you 2 times more hair in one procedure. Now, I haven't used that one, but I have used the 45-minute laser and PRP treatments for men and women. You get in there, sit down, boom, knocks the workout, get on out of there, man. It's that easy. Call them right now at 615-376-6010 for your free consultation right now at WeGrowHair.com.
3HL 1045 The Zone. If y'all want to shoot us some eating suggestions for New Orleans.
Guess what? This look all right.
What looks all right?
Dookie Chase.
What?
Dookie, Dooky, Chase, Chse.
What is that?
Chases.
What is
Dookie Chase's restaurant. It's a
restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Since 1941. Oh. They got shrimp Dookie.
What?
Dookie's toast.
Why does it say Dookie?
I don't know whose name it is, but Dookie is pretty popular.
I wanted to go to
restaurant.
Brennan's, but it's rented out every night. Plus, it's expensive as crap, but it's amazing. It's the best restaurant down there.
Oh, no, I'm going to make it, though, because I ain't no huge seafood guy. Chicken a la Dookie. Ribeye, Big Dookie. That's the name. These are the names.
Yes, I understand. We got to go to the world's oldest bar, or the country's oldest bar. The oldest bar in America.
This one might be. Okay, I got it. Emily Tanette Chase and Edgar Dookie Chase Sr. opened the doors of Dookie Chase's restaurant for business in 1941. Initially a sandwich shop and lottery ticket outlet in 39. Dookie's evolved into a thriving bar and later a respected family restaurant in the Tremme.
Tremme. No,
Tremme with the little hyphen.
Oh, okay.
Tremme.
Accent.
Tremme neighborhood.
Yeah.
I guess when it's an accent, that don't mean you need to go into accent.
Tremme.
So if you see an accent, you need to go with that accent, though?
Is the A sound for the E.
Okay, A. Tremme neighborhood. The restaurant would become a meeting place for music and entertainment, civil rights, and culture in New Orleans.
Let's go. I'm in.
I'm with that.
I'm in with all the history. Anything history, I'm in. That's why I want to go to the oldest bar in America. I've never done it before. Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop Bar. We've got to go there.
One of the first African-American fine dining restaurants to the country.
Let's go.
I'm with it. African-American art, jazz, and Creole cooking. This place is dedicated to the fun-loving people of our great city.
Philly Mike called in and said need to try Commander's Palace and Palace Cafe.
Commander's Palace.
Somebody else said Commander's Palace.
And then the other one was Palace Cafe.
So how about everybody gets a pick?
I don't want to pick. Just tell me where we're going.
That's how she is.
Listen,
this
learned that.
This woman over here, you think she's like type A of type A personality, but she's not.
Yeah,
she's unlike anybody you've ever met. So on trips or anything like that, she wants to be told exactly what to do.
It's wild. I've started to realize that. It is crazy coming from her who
and I really
so
don't
much
care.
control. Yeah,
like,
she doesn't care.
How some people are like, "Oh, where are we going for dinner? Oh, I don't care. We
she
can go
gets frustrated
anywhere."
if
And then
conversations like that happen.
Yeah, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, McDonald's," and then they're like, "Wait, no, whatever." No, I really don't care. Just don't make me make a decision like that.
What's the name of your place? Dookie's?
Yeah, Dookie Chase.
Dookie's it is.
Dookie Chase. Clip that one too. Dookie it is. All right, and Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop Bar. Are you good with going to the oldest bar in America?
I absolutely am. For a while.
For a while. Why? What's your hesitation?
No, for a little time, because I don't know what happens at night.
It is on the haunted pub crawl tours.
There it is. And that right there is the asterisk.
Yeah, but you said the other day, as long as you can have spirits with the spirits.
And once again, you've talked me into it.
You're all on the same team at that point.
You do it. You know what to do. Listen.
The ghosts.
We both said it.
That's twice a day. The ghosts are there to have a good time. We're there to have a good time. Everybody have a good time.
Hey, winning, you're winning.
I've been told to take line 3.
This is bad.
Oh, line 3 drop.
Get out of here, line 3.
What's up with line 3?
They know that's
Jim
Jim
Nance's
Nance. They
Was
know.
that Jim Nance?
You only got a certain time to be on there.
You know Jim Nance knows where to go in New Orleans.
He absolutely knows where to go. Or
come on,
it hasn't brought to him.
So now we're told to take line 4, which is Ryan in Nashville. Ryan, what's up?
Not much. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
Hey, you guys are looking for places to eat in New Orleans. I got 2 for you.
All right.
One is called the Court of Two Sisters.
Yes, I've been there. That is
I've heard
incredible.
of that, yeah.
Yep.
Court of Two Sisters.
Yep.
Go there for the breakfast buffet is phenomenal.
Ooh.
You know I'm a breakfast guy now.
the other place, I think it's either Galatoire's or Galatoire's. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the oldest steakhouse in New Orleans, and it's amazing.
That don't sound bad.
All right. You trying to write it down, Mayor?
Yeah, I've got it on the sheet with all of our information, like our
Thank
flight
you,
info,
Ryan.
our hotel info, our confirmation numbers, distances to places.
Everything so we don't get lost.
I got it. Thank you, Ryan.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. Appreciate all the help, y'all.
Y'all are doing it well.
Smacko wrote that this is Becky's husband from downstairs. Smacko is his name. Sean Macco. Smacko. Eat at Jacques Imo's in New Orleans. Incredible local spot.
Is that where what's the name came from? The Princess and the Frog?
Tiana?
Yeah, that's my girl.
Hadley loves that movie.
Man, me too.
Jacques Imo's. I wrote that down too.
That's a good movie.
615-737-1045. All right, you guys want the AFC salary cap totals?
Give it to me, baby.
You want me to start at? I'll start at the. Where should I start? The top or the bottom?
Tippy top? No, yeah, start at the bottom. Well, okay, the Titans must be in the middle.
I'll start at the bottom. What just happened? What's going on through the door?
My buddy.
Your buddy?
Oh, that's our big boss.
Is that Allison over there?
She said, I'm so proud of you. That's what I saw through
That's
the glass.
exactly what she was saying.
I'm so proud of
that's
you.
our big boss.
Yes, I got to go see her.
She definitely will not come in here while we're on the air.
No, because she knows we'll put her on air.
She
That's right.
stays
And
so far away.
Cannot be farther away.
Yeah, you couldn't force her in there.
AFC salary cap totals. Number 16. There are 16 teams in the AFC, if you don't know. Number 16, the Cleveland Browns, which makes sense for them to move Myles Garrett, right?
Mm-hmm.
$30.2 million over the cap.
What?
They are $30.2 million over the cap.
Like, what are they supposed to do?
Number 15, Bills, $12.4 million over the cap.
Woo.
And they lacked playmakers this year. I mean, they were still good because, their quarterback's all right. The defense pretty good.
Solid.
14, Dolphins, 11.7 11.7 over the cap. Dolphins. 13, Texans, $416,000 over the cap. They're almost at zero. Now we get into positive territory. Ravens are $5.9 million under at number 12. Number 11, the Chiefs, $11.5 million under. Number 10, the Jets, $20.9 million under. Number 9, the Colts, $28.4 million under. So that's the back half. Jaguars, $32.2 million under. So I've already read Jaguars, Colts, and Texans out of the AFC South, which means the Titans have more cap room than anyone in the division.
Right.
Number 7, Broncos, $34.8 million under the cap. Number 6, Steelers, $40.7 million under the cap.
Wow.
Number 5, the Tennessee Titans, $44.1 million under the cap.
Something to fight with.
They have the 5th most room in the AFC. Number 4, Bengals, 46.6. Number 3, Chargers, $63 million under.
Dang.
And now it goes up way high.
How the Chargers like that?
Number 2, the Raiders have $92.5 million in cap room.
Raiders.
Number 1, the New England Patriots, $120 million under the cap. And you fire the coach.
What? Like, why would you not let somebody play with that?
Vrabel's got so much room.
And that, I want to know what happens when if
What took Vrabel so long to hire Todd Downing?
I know he's been waiting.
This Baptist guy.
Todd Downing.
Hey, at least he's not the OC. Maybe there's a chance that he won't screw it up as the wide receivers coach.
In hell.
Patriots, $120 million. 615-737-1045.
Mike Vrabel just can't help himself.
Nope.
Can't help himself.
He's gonna surround himself with his dudes. JP and the Borough. JP, what's up?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, first thing, I got two things. I got a trade back scenario and a bridge quarterback. But I got something for old Slay Dog.
What up, brother?
So
So I work over in East Nashville, not the best area to deliver these packages, doing the Lord's work.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been out there looking. I've been asking them chunky junkies, some wacky crackies.
You've been asking around?
Yeah, I've been trying to look, and I try to stay away from the flirty funkies, but...
What in the world?
Nothing came up.
Yeah, no, we have luck on that.
I appreciate you trying, though, brother.
But my trade scenario, I'd like to trade back to the Raiders. Hopefully swap picks, throw a 5th round in it, get Max Crosby, a next year's 2nd rounder, and I'm going to take Jacoby Myers, and for a bridge gap quarterback this year, Gardner Minshew.
I'm trying to. What pick does the
man?
What pick does the Raiders have?
Babs with 6. Babs would love to have Gardner Minshew here.
You
I agree. I'd be a great bridge quarterback for.
You would love Gardner Minshew to be in Nashville, wouldn't you?
Heck yeah.
I hadn't thought about him. That's an interesting take. Appreciate you, JB.
What is his?
I don't think you're getting Max Crosby though.
Nope.
People keep bringing him up too, though.
I mean,
all right, Gardner.
You'd love to have him, but
Gardner
That's
Minshew
got Minshew's contract.
signed a 2-year, $25 million contract that included a $6 million signing bonus, $15 million guaranteed, $12.5 per year. In 2025, Minshew will earn a base salary of a little under $12 million, workout bonus of $150,000, cap hit of $13,820,000, a dead cap of $7,660,000.
So you'd have to trade for him as your gap quarterback.
Right. They have a potential out. The Raiders have a potential out for this year. Between 2024 and 2025.
Well, then there you go. The other thing is like, people are saying that Jack Crosby has requested a trade. Yeah, I think everybody wants out of the Raiders.
Yeah, nobody wants to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with AP leaving. Antonio Pierce getting out of there.
You want to talk about a motor running, though, Max Crosby.
Oh,
well,
absolutely.
Remember, before they hired Antonio Pierce, Max Crosby was like, either hire him or trade me. Like, that came out. Or at least was rumored to have come out. And so now that they fired him and went a different direction, I'm not surprised.
I don't disagree.
I mean, that was well thought out, but there's a lot to that.
But this is my whole thing. There's a lot to
all of it.
All of this.
Yes.
There's a lot to trading back in this draft to get more draft capital. Then the big question is, who is your quarterback? The Titans can absolutely not trot Mason Rudolph or Will Levis out there next year, period. Do we all agree on that?
You better agree.
I mean, there will be nobody in those stands if your quarterback options are Will Levis or Mason Rudolph.
I would almost want to see them.
There would be nobody in those stands, right? Like Titans fans would revolt.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think they kind of did anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
So yeah, if you trot that back out there, like this is your best option at quarterback.
Right.
615-737-1045.
So if you're trading back, who's your quarterback? If you're not drafting Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders,
Danny Dimes
at one,
Abs, we've told you.
Who is your quarterback?
I don't know if somebody was asking me or not.
Danny Dimes.
Good thing I know.
615-737-1045. Our buddy Brian Wright.
It's not funny, Babsy.
The Galatior's place, you have to wear a sport coat. I was like, well, we're out on that.
Yeah.
He said it's great, though.
I could stop by the cleaners before we go.
615-737-1045.
I will say this. So, we all hop on that website and do mock drafts, right?
Yeah.
Zeph has probably done at least, 250. But... So this is what Mr. Babs did. He did the whole mock draft where he trades back, gets all the picks, whatever. Yeah. His dream scenario, which actually was kind of fun to watch. But he also did, take the best available, stick where you are for the Titans. Don't trade back, get a quarterback, stick.
So who did he take at one?
Cam.
Cam Ward at one. And then he went.
I made him take Cam Ward.
Yeah.
And then he went
because PFF, you can't trade them, right? Like, you just have to pick where they pick. Yeah. I think that's right.
Well, regardless, if you're picking one, for me, you're picking Cam. So the rest of the draft, I was like, I'm looking at it, and then it was their next pick was right side of the line. They addressed that of the offensive line. And then after that, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Like, what is that? I mean,
see, I hate doing mock drafts like that because I go with guys I know. You know what I mean?
No, all we did was just best available.
Oh, okay.
Right at the position of needs for the Titans.
By the way, your North Dakota State offensive lineman won Senior Bowl.
I know. I
practice
heard.
player of the week.
Good for him. I hope he makes it.
Ramon and Coach Mack both went in on that guy.
Me. Both of them texted me that.
What do you got, Zeph?
I have an announcement from our lovely boss, Allison Warren, who came in here and said, y'all talk too much. And she's been waiting outside in the hallway, and she cannot wait 5 more minutes. So, Slay, I'm passing along her message of congratulations on making the Hall of Fame.
I told her I was coming to see her.
Yeah, she said
she should be glad we talk too much. That's our job.
That's what I said. I said, I was like, this is a 20-minute segment, right? And she goes, 20 minutes? I was like, yeah, they got about 5 minutes left. She goes, I don't have 5 minutes kind of time. And then she left.
She runs all of our radio stations. Y'all talk too much.
This is definitely Allison.
What was that song? You talk too much. Boy,
and you know
never
she doesn't have 5 minutes in her day because she's a boss.
Right. I thought I was coming to see her.
Thanks, Zeph. You should have told us. We would have taken a break.
Nah, we probably wouldn't have.
She was like, did you guys see me like pressing my face up against the glass?
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, they did like a play-by-play style of it. And she was like, oh, no, they didn't. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, did you tell her she should have come in here? We would have put her on air.
Yeah, she said she would have crawled under the table like last time.
I think it's funny that we have a boss that doesn't want to be on air.
615-737-1045. I know, in radio.
Mm-hmm. Actually, well, Mace, too. He doesn't want to be on air either.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Out of here.
That's definitely true. Fortunately, there are lots of people at this radio station that talk.
We'd be one of them.
Until Seth says, you've got to take a break. And sometimes we tell them, no.
We're still talking.
But in this case, we do need to take a break. 615-737-1045. Again, coming up at 5:20, we're going to tell you about a really cool thing coming to Nashville, Athletes Unlimited, auprobasketball.com. Some of the best female basketball players in the country. Former Tennessee Lady Vol star Isabel Harrison will join us at 5:20. That's coming up. Stay tuned. 3HL 1045, The Zone.
All right, what would you do with an extra $75,000 right now? Even a couple $100,000. Maybe if you own a home, guess what? You can get that money in less than a week, and you can do it with Loan Pronto, the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold, hard cash. Pay off all your credit cards, start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has some easy options to let you access the cash from your home. No paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, and often no appraisal. Also, how about this? Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? They have some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. So if your current rate's over 6, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in the process with another lender, call Loan Pronto now and lock in your lower rate. Could even skip your next 2 house payments, by the way. LoanPronto.com, 615-499-5780. Start the entire process without making a phone call at LoanPronto.com, 615-499-5780. That's Loan Pronto, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Rod Slay with you. Man, crazy stuff from Channel 4. One dead after robbery at Green Hills Mall led to a shooting crash on I-65 in Berry Hill.
That's the accident I passed coming in.
Sure was.
Ooh.
The Metro Nashville Police Department has released new details in the deadly shooting investigation that closed Interstate 65 on Tuesday afternoon in Berry Hill. You were right in front of that being closed, right?
Yeah.
You'd still be sitting there, I guess.
Yep.
Wow.
Don Aaron, Metro Nashville Police Department spokesman forever, Don Aaron, said that, great dude, that a man was leaving the Green Hills Mall carrying shopping bags when people in a Tesla were allegedly looking for someone to rob. As the victim was walking with his bag, someone in the Tesla robbed him, got back in the car, and left the scene. Later, the Tesla crashed into a tree in the area of mile marker 80 on 65 North in Berry Hill. The driver was found by first responders with injuries and later died at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. The passenger of the Tesla allegedly tossed a gun over the guardrail and was later arrested. Aaron explained the shopper who was initially robbed at the mall has not been identified, and Metro Nashville Police Department urged them to come forward.
Jeez.
They could have robbed somebody in a Tesla, driving a Tesla.
Well, I mean, Tesla, it's its own
fastest cars out here.
It's its own getaway car.
Yeah, and it's
you don't have to drive it.
Dog, to hit top speed in a Tesla, you just yeah.
Wow,
electric moves up. You ever drove an electric car, though?
I have not.
Well, okay, if you drive an electric car, you'll get it. I ain't saying like I got it.
Blaine has a Tesla. I asked him, have you used like the driver assist thing before? And he's like, no, I'm scared to.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd be a little fearful to use it as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of with him on that. I don't know if I trust it.
Right? I wouldn't trust it. But like,
well, I have that on my F-150. Are you talking about the hands-free?
no, like the Tesla will literally, you plug in like I need to go to, Green Hills Mall, and it'll drive you there.
Take you.
Hands-free is a different thing.
Okay.
But it still makes me nervous that you have hands-free. But the one thing that
I don't
kind of saves the day on that deal,
drives itself
until you hit 70. Is that what it is? And then you have to put your hands on the wheel?
No, it's 80.
Oh. So literally, you could speed without your hands on the wheel.
Yes. Yeah.
But anyway, Blaine was like, plus
and I get annoyed that it's 80 too sometimes.
Plus, Blaine said,
Yeah.
If the Tesla,
Without
you put
putting my hands on the wheel.
If you put the Tesla on drive view mode or whatever it is, he goes, you have to sit in the front seat. I'm like, well, yeah.
Well,
can
I'm
you
glad
imagine?
they at least mandate that.
Can you imagine Hitman in the back seat, like coming to work?
Just rolling. Just rolling.
Oh, man. Crazy day in Nashville. But we were talking about, I remember, what's the bank down there in Melrose over by McDonald's? It's built up so much more, obviously, down there. But anyway, the bank was being robbed, and there was a shootout. And the cops were on 65 shooting at this guy in the woods behind that bank.
Yeah. Oof.
65 in Melrose is something.
It's kind of scary.
You think Junkie was in that?
No, Junkie like to flip and roll and stuff.
615-737-1045. Bobby is in Lebanon. Bobby, what's up?
Hey, guys. I just wanted to tell you, man, I moved up to Lebanon 2 years ago. I'm from New Orleans. Best burger. I have a food truck up here, so I eat seafood all the time called French's Creole. But
awesome,
burger from Porticals on Esplanade and drink your monsoon with it. And then go down to Parasols on 3rd in the Irish Channel and get you a roast beef po' boy. Best roast beef po' boy ever.
Okay, what was the first one?
The first one is Port of Call on Esplanade Avenue.
Got
and
it.
they have a drink. Yeah, they have a drink called the Monsoon, and you don't need but one of those. I promise.
I was going to say that kind of scares me right there.
It might be a bad idea.
Yeah, and it tastes like a fruit punch, so it's really good. You don't notice it till you stand up and try to walk out.
So
and then the second place is Parasols in the Irish Channel on 3rd Street, and the man grew up in the Garden District, right on the other side.
Oh, the Garden District.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Love it.
Midnight in the Garden. No, that's in Savannah. Hey, speaking of one of the most haunted cities in the country, did you ever see ghosts down there?
No, but I used to be a chauffeur, and I drove Nicolas Cage, and he had that house on the corner of Royal and I think it was Governor Nichols.
Oh, trust me,
And
Mayor's told us all about it.
He loves it home.
Yep.
Yeah, I drove him for Halloween, and his family come out, and they had video of things that were happening in there on Halloween. So other than that, no, I've never seen it.
Because they won't let you in that house. They're trying to sell it right now, as a matter of fact. But as you can imagine, it's kind of hard to sell. But I'm going to pull it up. It's what was her name?
It's in the French Quarter, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's on Royal and Governor Nichols, I believe.
So he and his family went inside. They owned it for 2 years.
They owned it. Yes, they owned it. Yes.
He went inside and had video when he came out of stuff happening in there.
Yes. They were in there for about 6 or 8 hours. I waited out in the car for him because he owned it, and it was Halloween night. Then I brought him back to his house. He had bought Ann Rice's house in the Garden District on 3rd and Patania. So when they got back to the house, I was talking to him, and I asked him, I said, did y'all see anything weird in there or anything? And he goes, and he's like, yeah, I have video, and there was like lights coming on, and the doors were opening and closing by themselves. So things like that, yeah.
It's La Laurie Mansion.
La Laurie Mansion, yes.
Wow.
So
Brent really wants to go see this house.
I do. I have seen it before.
Slate does not want to go by this house.
No, Slate is not.
So the Mannings live in Garden District, right?
Yes. Yeah. They live on 3rd Street, yes.
Yeah, over there by Ann Rice.
Yeah, you can walk right down the street and see that. They do right around the corner from Commander's Palace. But yeah, local eating, man, if you want to eat local. Parasols in the Garden District, and there's a place, Tracy's, on the corner there. Actually, my grandmother had started Tracy's back in the 60s on Magazine and 3rd. But Parasols in the Garden District and Port of Calls on Esplanade. That's good local eating.
Thank you, Bobby. Bobby, why'd you move here?
Oh, my God, that's a long story. It's a long story, but we're looking to move back to New Orleans. So
Okay.
2 years, yeah.
All right,
we're
brother.
glad
Thank
you're
you, man.
Still a Saints fan.
I got you, brother.
Y'all come see me. I set up over by Harbor Freight in Lebanon with my food truck called Frenchie's Creole. Come see me.
All right, thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Bobby. There you go. That's from a local. He's a real local.
How about this guy driving Nick Cage around?
Right.
Who owned the house that I'm like fascinated with?
And then Nicolas Cage showed him videos of ghost happenings in his house.
What's wrong, Slay?
That has nothing to do with me. Y'all enjoy that little story.
Slay's out.
You don't even want to talk about this stuff.
I'm cool on that. I got movies for stuff like that if I want to indulge in that.
And your son loves them.
Can't wait to watch them.
He would go with me, wouldn't he?
Yeah. He's a tough guy, but he always find an excuse not to finish haunted houses. So not sure. You going in there, huh, Yor?
If I could go in that house, I would.
Okay. If you go by the house, you would.
I have been by it.
Are you going by it this time?
I mean, I don't know if anyone will go with me. Y'all going to be in the damn casino.
Zeph may be the only one.
Zev would go. Kirby's going to be drinking absinthe.
I'm going to do a little bit of everything while I'm down there.
Oh, good for you, Zeph.
What does that even mean?
A little bit of everything while I'm down there.
That means he has no idea what he's going to do.
Yeah, he's just with the flow.
He's down for whatever.
Yeah, you just look up and see him riding one of the horses. Don't pet the horse, Zeph.
Don't pet the horse.
Hey, that's a real thing down there, too.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see horses. Don't pet them.
Yep. Not that I ever would have anyway. This guy was just a jerk.
We were in New England. And somehow I ended up on the opposite street as Mickey, you, and who was with us? Madison?
Blev, yeah.
Madison Blevins, who now is married with
twin girls.
Two girls.
So cute.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing big time sports stuff. Anyway,
I saw her doing a basketball game the other day.
In Dallas.
That's what it was.
Yeah, she's in Dallas, but she was an analyst, or she's doing some analyst work for Fox Sports 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was an intern here for Midday 180.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, those three are walking on one side of the street. I'm on the other. I don't know. I crossed. They didn't. They're still over there trying to get across. And so what happened? The mounted police guy.
We go to cross.
Mountie police guy?
Mounted.
Not mounted.
No, he's mounted. We go to cross. He comes galloping over. Actually, I think it was one on foot. It was one on foot, and the mounted police guys were up ahead a little bit. And so the guy on foot was like, "Don't cross there. What are you doing?" I'm like, everything's gated off.
Yeah.
Why can't I cross here? Everything's gated off. There's no cars. Don't cross here. You're jaywalking. You need to walk up, go past the officers on the horses, and go to that crosswalk. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So we go, and don't pet the horse when you walk by him. I'm like,
don't pet the horse.
Like he was.
What is your
He could just see it
problem?
written on you, like.
And you can
likes to
start
pet
to
Do I
horses.
look like somebody that would pet a horse?
Yeah, what?
Apparently. And don't pet the horse. Oh, by the way, I wasn't a big enough jerk, so don't pet the horse on your way
I should have
by.
asked Mike Morganzi about that.
What a deep.
Is that a thing up
listen.
there, like not petting horses?
I don't know.
Mickey is the happiest go lucky guy ever. Like it comes across on the radio, all this stuff. But man, when you cross him, when you're out and about, like that's H-Town Mickey. There's a story behind that. And I saw Mickey's face when this was happening, but luckily Babs is the one that kind of confronted the guy, so kept Mickey out of it. I'm not going to pet the horse.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, I should have said it in a really strong Southern accent.
And then y'all jaywalked right in front of him.
What did he
Hey,
do?
what are you doing?
All right, we need to take a break. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
All right, we're going to shake things up here a little bit with Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. I'm going to give you a different discount every single month. So you can get the most out of your new windows and doors. And if you need replacement windows and doors, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville is exactly who you need to call. So for the month of February, 47% off qualifying installations and no interest at all if paid in full within 12 months. No payments due. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville wants to take care of you. And here's the other thing about them. They turn 100 years old this year. Pella is 100 years old, founded in 1925. And so you know that their product is worth it. They have lifetime warranties on all of their product. And Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, from the process of installation, sales, installation, service, after installation, all of it, that allows them to warranty their work, and they have the staff in place to support you, the customer. They back it up with a 10-year labor warranty, leading in the industry. So this is who you need to go to for your new windows and doors. Schedule your free consultation. Check out the Dawn deal of the month. Just tell them Dawn sent you. And you can do all that. PellaNashville.com.
Good evening. It's 5:02. I'm Joe Spinato live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. In Titans news today, according to Jim Wyatt, broke just a little while ago, the Titans have hired former Bears and Raiders assistant Travis Smith as the new Titans run game coordinator as Brian Callahan continues to bolster his staff. In college basketball news, it was announced earlier today that Tennessee will be one of 17 teams to participate in the Players Era Festival, a week-long event that will include financial education programs and NIL opportunities for players during Thanksgiving week at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Tennessee will join a growing field that currently includes Alabama, Auburn, Baylor, Creighton, Gonzaga, Houston, Texas A&M, St. John's, and others. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Bulls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
.3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you. Don Davenport is here. The Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer Ron Slay. We surprised him with the announcement yesterday at 3:20. Ramon Foster, his brother, came in here and started the festivities.
Snuck in on us. Snuck in on me.
That had to be like the most unexpected thing, and then just a hell of a rest of a day.
And that was pretty cool. You could hear me when he stepped in. I was saying, like, if we go back and listen to it, like, why are you holding a microphone?
I did hear that.
Yeah,
like, what you doing
too.
now? Like,
I loved all the stories, though, of people calling in.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So Vincent Yarbrough called in, Isaiah Victor called in, Chris Ferguson called in, Buzz Peterson called in, and now we have Jerry Green calling in. Coach Green, what's up, man?
Well, everything's great now that I know that I'm in the mood here with everybody. Sure, it's great.
Hi, Coach.
What do you think, Slay?
Hey, I'm good. Life is good. Just moved from the coast of North Carolina up to near Hendersonville. So been doing good. Working a lot. Moving. Yes.
Not Hendersonville, like Nashville, Hendersonville.
North Carolina. Hendersonville, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
North Carolina, yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, big guy?
I'm good, man. Good to hear your voice, man.
Good to hear your voice. And I appreciate the fact that Tennessee was smart enough to get you into the Hall of Fame there. That's great news.
How about that?
And by the way, I wanna remember one thing that I keep getting confused on. One is we did go up and beat Syracuse that year. Didn't we?
Here we go.
Absolutely, we did.
and you know, as I remember, you had about 27 points and about 12 rebounds, 3 block shots, and unbelievable production. But I know that your award creates things that it has been basketball alone, but now you're doing some great things there with the station.
Yes, sir. Having a good time, too, Coach. Yeah. That was a fun time at Syracuse, too.
Yes, you did. And we did.
And we did. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Coach, if you maybe knew of some other extracurricular fun that Mr. Ronald Sylvester Slay had there.
I better put my march on hold right here and let him do that for you, because I know I would be in all kind of trouble.
Hey, the one of the most memorable parts of that trip, though, we were at shoot around at Syracuse, and a guy came in through the concourse, and it was like he was like spying on us or something, and he came in and he was like, Preston Shumpert's gonna kill you guys. And Coach Green stopped practicing and said, "You get your out of here right now." I said, "Yeah, Coach, there you go, baby." Yeah. That was
well,
cool.
I didn't do that but one time, thank goodness.
Yeah, that's all.
So Jerry Green with us, former Tennessee basketball coach. So you take the Tennessee job. You know what the roster looks like when you meet everybody. What was your impression of Ron Slay when you met him?
Well, he's a player, and he wasn't afraid to play. He was there to put us up at the top, and he was in a class had a 7-footer out of Houston, a really good player. And Ron could play with anybody athletically. And like I say, he wasn't afraid of anybody. And I really liked that team. When I resigned later on, I said, Ron Slay and the big 7-footer and the other guys, Vincent Yarborough, had a lot of talent. And it's good to see him give you a call today or yesterday, whenever that was. But it was a great time for us. We'd gone to 3 or 4 NCAA tournaments in a row. And Tennessee, from my understanding, had not been to but one NCAA tournament to that time. And that was great.
Yeah, that was the Dyra Nix team with Don DeVoe as the coach back in the 80s. Chris Ferguson told us yesterday he thought 1 to 13 roster-wise, that might have been the most talented team Tennessee's ever had.
I think if it had a coach at all, we'd have won it all.
So you take the blame for North Carolina? Is that what
No. No, I've taken enough blame in my 35 years.
Man, Coach, the only problem with that North Carolina game was Brandon Haywood fouled out. I keep saying that. If he never fouls out, we win that game easily because the game plan was intact. CJ was handling him. Charles Hathaway was handling them. Like, we had them held in check until he fouled out, and then they threw a little wild card in on us.
I wish we'd got a second chance. I would have loved our chances, to tell you the truth.
I agree.
7 up with 4 minutes to play. We could have won it had we played well enough. Okay?
Absolutely.
So,
by the way,
go ahead.
By the way, how's your mother doing?
She doing good, Coach. I'm gonna tell her you asked about her, man. She doing all right.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, I will.
So there were such, incredible talent on that roster, right? But such big personalities too, and these guys were so tight. As a coach, what was the challenge in kind of directing them?
Well, you got to figure out what your strength is and get to it. And if you can, keep them in the mood and hungry. If you can do that with a great attitude, I think you can do a lot of things. We certainly had a great time during that time.
Absolutely.
So what I take that to mean is, like, if it's me, like, there's a balance there, right? Like, in terms of, like, locking them down or letting them be them. And so, like, the New York trip that you kind of mentioned, like, so at some point you gotta let a little bit of that happen, I guess.
That year, I hate to talk about years, but we had we went out and won at Syracuse, won the Great Alaska Shootout, I think it was. No, it was Hawaii.
Hawaii. Yep. Mm-hmm. Rainbow Classic.
And came back after those 3 wins, beat Alabama at Alabama, beat Auburn at Auburn. And the next week we were ranked 4th in the nation, and you got to keep it up to make it go, though.
Yep.
But that was a great group of kids and a great group of kids to work with.
Absolutely.
Former Tennessee basketball coach Jerry Green joining us on 3HL. Coach, can you imagine coaching today in this NIL era and having to manage all that?
I don't think I could. I'm not even sure that the guy that had the most flexible attitude of all about players would have survived. Now, we've lost 3. We've lost 3 already so far with Roy and Kay and Bennett from Virginia.
Yeah.
But I'm not so sure. I had one friend that was offered a job in the United States, good job. And he went into it with the idea of, here we go, all the purse for the players and everything. And I knew that he would turn the job down. And sure enough, he sure did. I don't want to mention any names, but he turned it down. Even after the university said, you won't have any worries about players getting money because you won't have to worry about that. Now, that's pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. Wow. The headache waiting to happen right there, boy.
Coach, Chris Lowe brought something up yesterday that was interesting about that roster that we're talking about and how many guys stayed in state that are from the state of Tennessee. And you mentioned C.J. Black and Yarborough and Charles Hathaway and Slay and all these guys. And I mean, Isaiah Victor's from right up the road.
Yeah. Tony Harris Walker, Terrence Woods.
How important was it to you to make sure that you got the best in-state guys?
Well, Ron was one of the players that was not in Memphis at that time. Not that we didn't recruit Memphis, we recruited them as hard as we could, because most of the players in the past had come out of Memphis. I won't say most of them, but a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And we made Memphis a very tough place for the kid to get away from us, because we know how many players they've had over the years.
Memphis State was recruiting. They was recruiting heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This
Tony
Coach
Harris.
I got to ask you, Coach, how is Nancy doing?
Nancy is doing fine. This move to upstate North Carolina has taken its toll, because I tell you, we haven't moved in so long ourselves that it's been tough, and it was scheduled to take off in 25 days from the signing to the finish. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad she was able to get it done more so than me. So, but that team, I tell you, that team was special. It was very special.
Definitely was, man.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you calling in to help us celebrate the big guy over here,
Coach, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man, and congratulations again.
My guy.
Okay?
Appreciate it, Coach Green.
Okay, buddy. Thanks.
Right, yep.
How about that?
How you get Coach? Boy,
that's the first time Jerry Green's ever been on 3HL.
That's mountains moved right there.
Like, he's hard to find.
Well, Slay said he's responded to his text twice in 25 years.
I'm telling you.
That's what we should have asked him about.
Seriously, like when
Coach, why don't you ever respond to Slay's text?
I've talked to so many people about Jerry Green, and he, like, literally, like, when he was done with basketball, he was gone.
It was over.
He was out.
Mm-hmm. It was like the usual suspects.
He was gone. He told him. He was like, hey, I'm telling y'all now, I can go to my beach house in North Carolina and be just fine.
I almost blew
he sure did.
He went to it.
I almost blew that surprise during the break, because I thought you were on the phone, and I asked him, is that Jerry or Chris? Because Chris Lowe called too and was on hold so he could listen to it.
Uh-huh.
And you looked up at me, and I was like,
I heard you say Jerry or Chris. I was like,
how surprised were you to hear Jerry Green?
Dude, I was trying to see, was that really him? I thought it was CeeLo.
You were doing that.
I thought it was CeeLo playing.
Yeah, you thought it was CeeLo trying to be him.
I thought it was CeeLo playing, because CeeLo does his voice pretty good.
You did the same thing when Jim Nance called. You had the same look on your face, like, I ain't buying this until I'm buying it.
Listen, I'm scarred, man. I'm scarred. I'm telling you, I've been scarred since I was a youngin', man. Like, the prank phone calls.
Oh, that's right.
I told you, Coach Fisher.
That's what McDonald's All-Americans,
that's what you should have asked Coach Fisher about yesterday.
I remember
that
story.
That was it, dog. I'm like, nah, it got to get into depth in it.
Yeah.
Then when he started naming stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, wow, this is Coach Green. That's wild, man.
So literally, that's the first time you talked to him in forever?
I talked to him probably about 3 years ago.
Okay.
I was trying to get him to come on the Boom Boom Room.
You gave me his number at some point, and then
I got it from Lowe.
Yeah, I love.
Well,
and he responded to it, and then it went dark again.
Yeah, CeeLo told us he hasn't been on any Tennessee-based radio or TV in years.
Nothing. That's crazy.
Chris is having a ball texting us right now.
I know him.
He loves that. Chris Lowe is the gentleman responsible for Jerry Green.
Hey, man.
Being on
Chris Lowe is responsible for
everyone
all of our guests yesterday.
Except Isaiah Victor called himself.
Yes. Although CeeLo did point this out, he said it shows you what he thinks of Slay.
Yeah.
To actually call in.
Right.
And do that.
Right, because I'm telling you, to pick up
anything.
Man, they ain't picking up that phone, man.
He's not, and he ain't even texting Slay back.
No, I'm telling you, it is wild, man.
So in those like Tennessee chat rooms and everything, this is going to go all over the place.
Man, Jerry Green, dog, like that was.
Hey, how about him remembering your stats from Syracuse too?
I'm telling you,
pretty close.
Pretty close. We had one play, and Coach Ferguson came up with it and put it in for that game in practice, and it was called Bang. Like, you just do the little gun signal, bang, and dude, it was. We ran it over and over and over, and I was like, dog, They really not going to guard me right here.
So you were just inside the free throw line?
Right there at the free throw line.
The center never came?
No.
And
so
if he did, you go around him?
The big man, so Hathaway or C.J. Black would flash to the free throw line. It's a decoy while the ball is being swung to the wing.
Mm-hmm.
When the ball is swung back to the point guard up top, the big man flashes down and screens the center of it and moves. So now when the big man, the middle man in the zone gets around him, it's just me and him one-on-one with shooters on the edge, and somebody got to guard that big that's in the dunker spot right under the rim. So it's actually one-on-one. Can't nobody do anything, and they were coming out and guarding me. If they did, I'd go around them. It was wild. It was unbelievable.
It's crazy to hear you tell that story and how much success y'all had against that 2-3 zone because, I mean, Boeheim ran that forever.
Won national championship with that.
No one could figure it out.
Nope. And we ran one play over and over and over and over again.
Like Marshawn Lynch over.
And then came back the next year when Coach Green was gone and ran it again. It was still working. It was in Knoxville. Yeah. It was still working. So, but I thought the key thing, dog, that you hit on was that CeeLo hit it too, man. It was all we had two guys outside the state of Tennessee.
Brandon Crump was who he was talking about from Houston.
Crump, yeah. And Crump has been up here quite a bit. But, yeah, Crump was another one. But Marcus Hayslip.
Yep.
Tony Harris, Terrence Woods, Harris Walker, Dale Baker, Vincent Yarbrough, Charles Hathaway, C.J. Black, and me. That's 9 players from the state of Tennessee.
How crazy is that?
You add Isaiah Victor in and John Higgins from Shaker Heights, Ohio.
Yeah.
That was it. Then we had
Victor's from
North
Hopkinsville.
Carolina. That's right. That's Clarksville. Yeah. No, that was amazing.
All right, Isabel Harrison coming up next. Former Tennessee Lady Vols, Star Athletes Unlimited. Got a women's basketball thing coming to town. AUProBasketball.com. We'll be right back.
No roof allowed. Nope. But GameDayMen'sHealth.com, you need to get active, people. It's time for you to get in the game, and I'm talking to my fellas out there. If you have an opportunity to get to GameDayMen'sHealth.com, all you got to do is call 615-898-9367. See how I took the excuse right out of it? You don't have to get there. You can just call or text 615-898-9367. Did you know that half of all the men would struggle with erectile dysfunction at some point in their lives? I'm talking about half of them. That doesn't have to be your normal, though. Nope. This is where Game Day Men's Health comes in. ED issues can be caused by any number of things. Could be testosterone, could be something else. Bottom line, you don't know until you go see Game Day. You got 2 different locations to go to, Green Hills or Hendersonville. Grab your phone, go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Top of the page, click Book Appointment. Pull up to one of those 2 locations, name, phone number, and email address is all you need. That's it. Someone from Game Day will hit you up. In 15 minutes, you'll get your lab results back, you'll meet with a medical expert, and boom, you're ready to get to it. 615-898-9367 is the number. Get in the game today with GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
3HL 1045 The Zone, Everding, Isabel Harrison. 615-737-1045 if you want in. So the story behind the story was when Jim Nantz randomly called the show on the listener line, we all kind of looked at each other because, like, he has such a voice that people try to imitate it all the time. And so we all sat looking at each other as Jim Nantz kept talking, and we're like, is that him? Is that him? Oh, it's him. It's him. And you just did the same thing with Jerry Green. Like, you had the same look on your face. Like, is this really Jerry Green? Because when he left Tennessee, I mean, he was like I said, usual suspects. Like, poof, he was gone.
Yeah.
He hadn't done any media in forever.
And I hadn't heard his voice. Like, I've hit him on text, but to hear his voice was something so totally different.
So in the room, Slay's like sitting back, and he's got that same look on his face. Like when Jim Nantz called, like it took you longer than me and Babs. Like it took you a minute to believe that was him.
I was looking for when he ought to give me the confirmation. Like it's him. I'm still like, nah.
And so with the Jerry Green thing, you took a seat back. Jerry's talking, and like you get in Zeph's ear, like, is this really Jerry Green? Because you thought it was Chris Lowe doing Jerry Green's voice.
Exactly. And you also hadn't talked to him in 3 years.
No, I'm trying to think the last time I heard his voice. I'm looking it up right now. The last text message was June 14, 2021.
Oh, wow.
Almost 4 years.
Coach Green, this is Ron Slay. How you doing, Coach? Ron, I texted 12:06. He wrote back at 12:15. Ron, doing good. How are you? Said, I'm good, Coach. Been wondering how you been. Finally got a number on you. That was at 12:29. He wrote back at 1:03. Great. I remember well that Syracuse game you had.
Which is what he brought up.
I said, yes, sir. That was it. That was the end of it.
Poof, he was going again.
Good combo.
Yeah, good talk, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
That was fun. Jerry Green.
Man. That man had a winning. That's the thing. That's what didn't sit well with people either. And he knew it. He said, man, one of the most flexible coaches. Like, he was a player's coach. Wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I like how he said that.
He was going to stick with his players. I wonder who that coach was.
Right. And he said, I'm not going to tell you.
Him and Roy is super tight.
Yeah. I didn't know Buzz was so tight with Roy Williams until he said that yesterday because of Asheville. I was talking to Chris Lowe this morning about that, and he was like, because Chris didn't know that either. And he was like, yeah, there's so many people in the basketball world from that area.
Yep. Right there. And then once you get a part of that North Carolina tree, like it ain't. I know Duke's tree or something. That North Carolina tree, they really hire in-house.
Yeah.
Duke hire in-house too. Have y'all ever had a coach outside of that didn't go to Duke?
I mean, Coach K was
Coach
West Point.
Yeah.
And he was there forever.
Right.
So,
but then he made it that.
Then he made Shire. But Carolina always, you better have a Carolina tie to be a coach for them.
Yep. 615-737-1045. Tony in the borough. Tony, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good afternoon. Or good evening, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I know y'all are don't got a lot of time, so I'll try to keep this short and sweet. Ron, I just want to say, hey, man, congratulations, brother. I know that's a massive, monumental thing for you and your career. You should be on top of the mountaintop, and there ain't no roof up there. So
I appreciate that, man.
Say congratulations.
Thank you, bro.
On that. You know, one of my favorite times of the year with 3HL over the last 6 years, so I've been watching you guys or listening to you guys since I moved back to Nashville in 2018, back in April. So I guess this is getting close to 7 years now. And one of my favorite times is the time that I went down to the Super Bowl media row. I didn't get to go to the game. I slept in my car at the airport where the Uber drivers drive. I'd drive a little bit in the morning, make a little money, and then I'd go and see you guys and all the people that you got to interview. And it was just such a cool week. I wanted to know, you know, Ron, now that you got this big, you know, Hall of Fame moment, I mean, it's obviously you just found out yesterday, you know, and you've been going to New Orleans. What does that feel like now, you know, knowing that you're probably going to, you know, you're going to be somebody that's seen down there as a star, and now you're going to be able to get to share this moment with so many other people, and just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I hope you guys have a great week down there. I look forward to tuning in.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it, Tony. Man, I think when you look at it, man, I'm just going to be me. The easiest part, that's the easiest thing I can do, man.
You always have been.
Slade does get interview requests all the time when we go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, I mean, like,
media days, everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's also really funny to me.
I really don't.
Like, some people that don't even know who he is, they think they think they know.
Yeah. Like,
they might not know him, but they're like, oh, I know he's somebody important.
Yep.
Like,
that's funny.
Do you remember?
Yes, they think he's a former
like,
football
hey,
player.
man, what's up? And give him a hug, and they'll walk away. And I go, who is that? Do you know him? So he's like, no, I have no clue.
But guess what? It gets people to unarm a little bit too. Well, not unarm, disarm.
Yeah, no doubt.
A little bit. So yeah, there's like,
yeah.
All right, well, yeah, we're all athletes, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
And then usually everybody, like all the handlers that bring, they call them handlers, that bring the people over to our table and stuff, they always come right to me because they think I'm the producer. They're like, oh, there's the girl in the group. She must be the producer or something. She's not on air. I'm like, actually, our producer's right there. But it's cool. I'll talk to you. Come on.
The coolest thing for us, I think, is like maybe the off-the-grid non-athlete people that we run into down there. And like, we can't count on it. We don't know it's going to happen. And so, like, if you put yourself in our shoes, so, for example, this is one of the Super Bowl moments that stands out to me. We told the Jesse Jackson story on Martin Luther King Day, but this one stood out to me too. It's like, guy comes up, he looks like Opie Taylor, like Ron Howard. And the PR guy goes, this is Robert O'Neill, former Navy SEAL, and he was a part of the Bin Laden thing. And we're like, okay. And he sits down. We know nothing about the story. And then you just start having a conversation with the guy. And so that's why I always say, like, I try to stay away from saying that we do interviews and try to say that we do conversations because I think that's what we do. But, like, I mean, in 5 seconds, the guy's sitting down in a microphone and we're, like, going through the story. And he said that, they had intelligence that they had Bin Laden's house and, they had the crashed Black Hawk, and these are stealth Black Hawks, which I knew people in the military that didn't even know that they existed at the time. Right. Anyway, so the team starts to go up the stairs, and he wasn't first in line. And he said, guys in front of me, like one by one, would pull people that they came across and get them down the stairs. And he goes, so they end up at the end of the black staircase. And he said, the whole time I'm thinking this thing's going to be trapped and like, explosions are going to happen or whatever. And he goes, we get to the end of the staircase and there's a closed door and they open it. It wasn't locked. They just push it open. And the way he told the story was so chilling. He said, I met Bin Laden and he died. Mm-hmm. And it's like moments like that you don't anticipate when you go to Super Bowl Radio Row and you end up having conversations. Like he had written a book, and that's why he was there.
Yep.
Or Olaf from Frozen.
I was just going to say Olaf from Frozen.
Is that one of your favorites?
No, I wasn't there then.
Oh, you weren't there then.
That was the year before me. Yeah.
Josh Gad, who played Olaf in Frozen. Mm-hmm. And my man gets on the radio, gets on the mic. I hadn't even seen the movie. And so I'm talking to this guy, and I had not even seen the movie. And so he starts doing the voice, and my phone starts blowing up from my friends that have kids in the car going, how did y'all get Olaf on the show?
That's one of the biggest right there.
Is there one that sticks out to you?
I'm trying to think.
It's such a blur. So it's really hard to answer that question.
After day one, you forget, man. I think one for me was, what's my man name? Was it Jake? Was it Jake Plummer? Jake Plummer's was good. I thought he had somebody with him though. And talked about
Jake Plummer was good.
Who did he have? I thought he had somebody with him.
He was talking about. Was he talking about legalizing?
Yeah, he was talking about legalizing
marijuana.
His was mushrooms, I think, at the time.
Oh, okay.
But he had talked about the ups and downs, his journey, man, after football. You know what I mean? The suicidal thoughts and things of that nature. Like that's always interesting to me because
that's
I think
one of the ones that stands out to me is Jamal Lewis.
I wasn't there for J. Lou.
You know him well, so this would have been kind of a different conversation. But he was like so open.
Yeah,
that's a good word for it.
And I had never heard him tell that part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
When he had the knee injury at Tennessee and they made that championship run without him, that's a lonely place to be for an athlete, man.
No question.
And he talked about suicidal thoughts and all of that.
Came back. Whew,
yeah.
serious.
I don't know. For some reason, I feel like Radio Row just opens guys up.
It does.
How about Pac-Man last year?
Pac was really good.
In
2 years
Cali.
ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Pac was good. Pac opened up.
I mean, now we had
Yes, he
to
did.
dump him a couple times, but, you know.
it was good.
That particular week, we had to dump a lot of people.
We did. It was all
always,
back to back.
We're always amazed by it, and I guess it's just because, like, I don't know. We do some things really well, some things we need to work on, but I think one of the things we do well is I think people that come on the show feel very comfortable
And
with
just
us.
have conversations.
And we've been told that before. So,
Kevin Harlan is always my favorite.
and we are scheduled to talk with him. He's got such great broadcast stories, man, and his voice is incredible.
Yes, it is.
But he's still so, like, humble.
Yeah.
So low. And it would talk to you about anything. You ask him any question.
Well, and so
piece of advice, anything.
I think, it's important for us to bring this up just in case you haven't heard us do these 3 shows that we're about to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from Super Bowl Radio Row. Just because, like, maybe you haven't heard of somebody that we have coming up, we will do our very best to humanize that person and localize it and make it interesting for you guys because that's why we're there.
That don't mean no listen, yeah.
And
you
so
gonna learn something. You will learn something.
And the challenge for us that
Or maybe
I
even
love,
be inspired.
Yep, or entertain.
the challenge for us that I love is not knowing a whole lot about whoever is sitting down at the table and learning about them. Like what makes that person tick, what got them to this place. And yeah, people are, selling items and hawking things or whatever, but hopefully we'll be able to deliver content that will be interesting for you. And we've done this so many times.
There was another guy, man, so unassuming, football player.
How about Jim McMahon a couple years ago?
McMahon was good,
Yeah,
too.
he was
Telling those 85 Bear stories.
Oh, those
That
were
was excellent.
golden.
It was a dude, man, I think he was a tight end or something. He sat down, and he had played like 6 or 7 years in the league, and none of us had heard of him.
Oh, for
but he
the,
had a super
Ravens,
interesting.
right?
It was either them or the Broncos.
It was the Broncos.
I can't remember his name, but his story
And
was
he
interesting.
had not played football in high school.
Yeah, that's
he
what
never
it was.
played
Yep.
football. He was a basketball guy.
Basketball guy. Yep. And
And
played in the NFL. For some time.
randomly went to a camp and made a team. And then he was in your 10 or
Yeah,
something.
it was crazy. It
We're
was
like, who
you
is
got
this guy? He's in your
a long
10.
tenure. Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is a good one. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Innuendo said, I remember meeting Dawn at an expo when I was a kid. I still have her autograph.
Oh, my gosh. I'm old.
Bubba Dix-
I'm officially old.
Bubba and Dix is on hold. Stay there, Bubba. We'll be right back. 3HL.
All right, I want to talk to you about Xfinity Internet. We seriously live off of Xfinity Internet because if you are like me, you have 8,000 devices and everything has to run off your internet. And maybe you have a 4-year-old and a 13-year-old, a teenager that wants to game all the time. And then you have, Mr. Babs that works from home on top of it. And then you have me who has to do all my research from home at during the day at a certain point. Yeah, you better have internet that works. Xfinity Internet is what you need. That's what we have. That's what we love. And here's the deal. You can get the speed that you need at a great price. Xfinity delivers gig speeds to more homes than anyone. And you can enjoy all your favorite apps all in one place with a Flex 4K streaming box as well. Stay connected on the go with over 20 million secure Xfinity Wi-Fi hotspots nationwide. A variety of speeds to choose from. Don't pay for what you don't need. Stay connected. Just go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or grab you some Xfinity internet and visit a store today.
Three HO 1045 The Zone. We're about to head to the airport. You may see us out there if you're also headed to the airport.
Or hear us.
You'll hear us coming.
Fly like an eagle.
We're like a big party traveling.
Oh, we travel.
Zeph, do you like traveling with us?
I think it's fun. I have a blast.
I mean, the other thing is
fun or funny.
No, but we'll both.
You have fun though with us?
A blast. Mostly because I've like typically never gone anywhere, and so
you don't get out much.
But y'all have, and so y'all can like show me the ropes.
Yeah,
and that's fun.
The one thing is like about this group is Babs walks so fast.
I know, and y'all walk so slow. Drives me nuts.
We're bopping. We bop around the airport.
Also, typically, I'm like way down by a bunch of gear. So, like, you should see this. You should try and lift this case I got to carry around this week.
Yeah, he was wondering if he could carry it on the plane. It looks like it could be something that will get pulled at security.
Don't say that. I don't need TSA listening to us right now. Dawn?
Bomb, bomb, bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb.
That's his first show ever. She said that word. I was like, dude, you can't say that word on the radio. She's like, and then she must have said it 50 times after that. Like, what are y'all talking about? I mean, it does look kind of sketchy.
Kind of?
I think you might need to check that thing.
What about the thing I'm in charge of? It's my height.
That is very true.
I got to check that bad boy.
So that one looks like
I thought I was carrying it on. I guess not.
It looks like a gun case, to be honest.
Yeah.
Boy, security's going to be waiting for us, man.
Like, who are
You
these
think the
fools?
TSA agent at the door? He's got his AirPods in. He's just
they
listening
do
to
listen.
3HL.
A lot of those guys listen.
They're going to see us pulling up with
They do. I always say hi when we go through security.
Yeah.
with Dawn's like 4-foot gun case and
It
my
does
big
look
old
like
black.
Slay, doesn't that look like a bunch of shotguns?
That's just.
Well, and how about us coming
be
through
licensed.
too? We got the tall black guy, the loud white girl, Zeph, who looks like the smart geeky scientist guy.
But that he's never traveled before. He looks like it.
Yeah.
And then just me. I'm just me.
and then just your
I just got your
token white man.
Yeah, I could not be more average.
white man.
I could not be more of an average white man in the history of white men. I mean, I'm the like draw it up, average white man. Hey, that looks like the mayor.
This is him.
Bubba's in Dixon. Bubba, what's up, man? You feel good about our chances to get on the airplane with no scuffles?
Oh, well, after Dawn's speed walk in, the token white guy and Ron, I don't really know. I'm not real sure. I'm not real sure what's happening here. Like, you guys.
Oh, man. Plus
happy belated 32nd birthday, Dawn, by the way, since, you was feeling old.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's 26, Bubba.
Yeah.
Oh, 26. Well, see, 32, 26. I mean, I'm not the one who somebody said I got a picture taken with you years ago.
Hey, now, he did point out he's only 25 years old.
Yeah, he said it was 9.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that was still like 15 years ago.
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say it. That was all mayor.
I've been in this
All
town
right.
a long time.
Yes. But we've loved every minute of it.
Thanks,
And
Papa.
Congratulations there, Ronald.
Thank you.
Glad that's one of little Ray. Ray heard it on the way to the ball game last night. She was like, "Oh, he's an all time." I'm like, it was.
That's my girl.
Well,
Then
yeah.
she went and showed out.
When showed out, it came up a little short last night. So now it's on to softball season. So we good. And then it's Florida in 2 weeks for a big old tournament. But I'm going to tell you this. If somebody hasn't said it, go to Dat Dog, D-A-T. Go to Dat Dog. But this is one of those, Ron.
That dog
where you
good.
got
In New Orleans?
where you got that one eye open and that one is kind of creeping where you don't really know if it wants to stay open or go to sleep, but your tummy's rumbling. Yeah, that end of the night, I need something in my stomach to coat it. That's it.
That dog,
Where
they
you
got
need to
they got something to coat it in there for me.
It'll coat everything in there. You'll wake up and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm good to go."
Oh, okay. That dog.
I'm just saying.
You ain't let me wrong, Bubba. I don't think you're gonna leave me wrong now.
Oh, no, man. You got to trust the gut. Go with it. And I hope and pray that y'all get on this plane tonight. Don't no more of that little talk of bombs and running around. Just
Sorry.
let's simmer down now.
Zeph's shaking his head. Oh,
right, y'all
Zeph,
be safe.
Zeph didn't know what he was getting into when he took this job.
No, he's in it now, though.
Thank you, Bubba.
Glad to be here.
Hey, glad to have you, though. Welcome.
Bubba's right about that. Like, you see, like, somebody that, talks about how great a chef they are or whatever, or a cook they are, and they're like 95 pounds.
Do not look at me.
I didn't even
Do not look at me.
I didn't even say nothing, dog. I did not say nothing. I was up there packing up my
No,
little
you
bag.
turned over and you gave me one
I
of
was packing
Dawn's eyes. Yeah. You gave me one of those eyes that Dawn usually gives me.
I was packing my little bag, dog. That's all I was
Don't you do
doing,
that,
dog.
Slay.
See, I don't even know how you see him with that beam in between you two.
No, he scooted back.
He scooted back.
He scooted back to look at me, so I would see it.
But don't y'all question a cook's ability when they say they're good and they're like 95 pounds?
Yes.
Yeah. Because they can't be tasting the food.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. By the way,
You all packed up over there?
Oh, I'm getting it together.
the fried okra in the air fryer, no go.
Yeah, so you got to like actually like fry it.
Yep.
Oh, you got to. Oh, no. She'll burn the house down.
Oh no, Mr. Babs will do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't cook.
Do you have like
Yeah,
a deep fryer?
I don't.
I got one.
They have
Really? Are you asking me? Because I have no idea what we have. All I know is we have a blender because I lost my first one in my divorce. And so I got drunk one night and ordered a new one.
Well, they make countertop deep fryers.
You got to right wrongs, Babs.
I got one.
Okay.
It's a nice.
Oh, can I borrow it if we don't have one?
Yeah, come over.
Can I make us some fried
You can
okra?
go, that's what I was saying. You just come make it over there.
Okay.
Take it home.
How about I bring it over there and you make it?
Sounds like a winner too, Babs. Sounds like you're going to get out of making it. All right, sound good. Bring it over.
Deal.
We're going to enjoy some fried okra. Oh, cool, Babs.
And then when she burns
bring it over. You're going to cook it.
And then when she burns the house down, y'all go to Cracker Barrel and get fried okra from there.
There you go.
Hey, man.
You know, when I was pregnant, it was COVID. So I would get it, they did everything to go.
Yeah.
So I would get fried okra from Cracker Barrel. Seriously, they should advertise with me.
Yeah.
At least
us.
twice a week in fried catfish. That was what I was
Craving?
craving.
Yeah.
Fried catfish, fried okra from Cracker Barrel.
Wow.
None of the ice cream. Oh, I did like cake.
Man,
Baby Babs a COVID baby?
Yep.
COVID, baby.
Working in a restaurant during COVID was weird.
Weird.
Like there was like 3 people in the kitchen running the entire kitchen.
Yeah.
And like it's all quiet because there's no guests out there in the dining room. It's really weird.
It's weird. It was like, oh, that whole time was weird.
So you couldn't be like your normal instigator. Cracker Barrels just have personality type.
I remember like when they first shut down, like I literally went in for work and it was one grill cook, one backup cook, and then a to-go server, and then the manager. There were literally 4 and a dishwasher. So there were 5 total people, but the restaurant's so big, you're all separated. So you're like
'Cause you had to
basically
be-
isolated and by yourself for an
15
entire
feet
shift.
apart.
Yeah. And
Man,
it was so weird.
For us, remember, Babs, they sent us a text message, hey, we're broadcasting from home now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the evening. And so, like, I don't remember what you did, but, like, I had to go to Guitar Center, like, right then to go get a microphone, the equipment needed
I just
to work
popped
it through
open my laptop and said, screw it.
You didn't do the professional thing.
Nope. I'm like, if you want it to be professional, then you can come set it up at my house.
That's, ladies and gentlemen, that is Babsy.
I was also really pregnant, so I'm like, I don't give it.
You're right. What?
Yeah.
That was fun. I forgot about that because like you would like stand up because you would need to stretch your legs and you would do it in the middle of a segment and your belly would just be right there.
Take up the whole screen. Poor people that had to see that.
Poor Mickey that had to deal with us. Good times.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be broadcasted live tomorrow from Radio
Thank goodness
Row
we're past that.
In New Orleans. And we'll have a bunch of interesting people for you. So make sure you tune in from 3 until 6. Listen to The Zone all day long. Listen, y'all, we appreciate you guys including us in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take it lightly. Hope you have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Hey, and wouldn't want to be you unless you were Tennessee and going into the Hall of Fame.
And security at the airport. We're coming.
Oh, we on the way.
See you soon.